Crossover.
Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover. It just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Happy Friday, boys.
Hey!
Hello.
How we doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Excellent.
Good.
Good. How was the shoe yesterday?
Oh, great times.
The what?
Horseshoe.
Oh, the kids are calling it the shoe.
Oh, I didn't know
The
that.
shoey.
No, the kids aren't calling it the shoe.
I didn't. Yeah.
Happer's calling it the shoe.
Yeah, I'm calling it the shoe.
You're calling it the shoe.
Mhm.
Yes.
I get it. now.
1620 the shoe?
1620 the shoe coming to a
Yeah,
store near you.
that's what
Just as
started
good
the
as.
conversation.
1620 the shoe. Yeah.
Those were the talk of us having our own branded shoe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How about 1620 the diet root beer?
I mean, yeah, there's just
Not
nonstop.
regular root beer, just diet root beer.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we could eventually get to that point. Probably need to start a little bit with a wider scale, wider scope, but you know, we'll eventually.
Not everyone likes diet root beer.
No. I don't
No,
like
well,
diet root beer.
I don't like regular root beer.
I don't like regular root beer.
Oh, that's right.
either.
Josh is afraid of root beer
Freight. Why can't I just dislike something?
because you're a fraidy cat. That's why.
I've realized,
hate how much I disagree with or agree with Josh. on
dude,
some
you
of
and
these
I,
things.
yeah,
this is not
he
good.
was apparently being pro-murder today. Like, what in the world's going
No,
on?
we were just
Oh, who did
pushing
you want
quarterbacks
knocked
out
off?
of trains. That's all.
Yeah.
Wait, what? You're pushing quarterbacks out of trains?
Yeah, it's not murder.
All you have to do,
They didn't have to
if
die.
they fall out of the train, they're probably dead.
No.
At
RIP.
the worst, they are
No.
badly injured.
What if the train isn't going that fast?
Didn't they jump out of trains in westerns? They didn't die.
Speaking of trains,
It's a movie.
they played a part in our movie club movie, Nightmare Alley. There was,
Oh, did they?
there was a
Movie.
train.
Well,
Well, you
that's
liked
right.
it?
I love that movie. Yes.
Interesting.
You didn't like it?
Well, there we go. We disagree. I liked the first half. I did not like the second. half.
Interesting.
Yeah. We'll talk about
I
it.
thought
with
it. Yeah, I thought it was the best movie of last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, for the whole year?
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
trying
know.
to
I
think.
probably
What's
didn't see
my
that many
favorite
movies.
movie of last year? I don't even know. I'd have to think about it. Real fast.
I couldn't even. Think
Johnny
of
didn't
one.
like it either.
It actually, I might be opposite Josh. It grew on me.
Interesting. I
It
liked
grew
more
on
of the
me.
weird carny not
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it was carny.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that vibe. I like that better than
That
what the
hat.
second
Well,
half
because
was.
most weird carnies are like murder cults.
Damn it. Well, I tried
But
into that
again,
one.
why
It kinda
are
was
we
like that.
pushing quarterbacks out of trains?
Yeah.
Why
What's up
can't
with
we
this?
just cut them?
Well, it feels like I
Wow.
saw a quote going around. It feels like Tom Brady's bored already, and that he may.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Okay,
That is so funny.
this cottage industry of he's not retiring is literally getting out of control.
It probably is.
How
yeah.
first of
Just
all,
retired like a day ago.
how can he be bored of anything?
Yeah.
The man hasn't missed anything yet.
He-
And if he wants to continue to work out like he's still playing quarterback, there's nothing stopping him
Sure.
from doing that.
Yeah.
Because that's what he would be doing right now.
But the
He would be
quote-
working out for next year.
It was just the way that it was laid out. But he was like, yeah, well, one of the things I wanted to do was hang out with my family, and I've done a lot of that over the last. Now I'm gonna go, hang out with my parents, and I've played some golf. It's just like he feels like he is the type of guy who needs to be kind of, doing something, grinding towards something.
I
You know
didn't buy
what I
into
mean?
like the early he's gonna come back for revenge against Adam Schefter stuff, but there's a part of me now that thinks he's mad that he didn't get to do all of this on his own
Oh,
and wants to do it all on
that
his
would be a
own.
real Michael Jordan.
It would
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Well, it
Those
would,
people like that are
but
psychos.
also, and not that this is the first time that Tom Brady's been accused of being weird, but yeah, of course it was going to get out.
Yeah, I know.
The only
Yeah.
way it wasn't going to get out is if he had kept this whole thing to himself and not told another living soul.
Right.
That's the only way.
That's
it's
like
not-
impossible.
But the minute,
That was never gonna
the
happen.
minute he tells Giselle, there's a
He probably
chance
texted somebody.
that's gonna get out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll say this, Tommy, you did this to yourself. You shouldn't
have
said
done
it.
that
if that's true, if he's that butthurt over the news getting out, the
Which
only
would
fault,
be a
the only
crazy
fault is
move.
his.
that he would like actually entertain the idea of coming back to the NFL just to spite Adam Schefter. That would be the funniest thing that
It
ever
would.
happened.
It
Yeah.
would.
It's so weird because like players, maybe wanting to play again happens all the time when they retire, but it's usually in August. He retired. It was a month ago this week. It was literally this weekend.
Yeah, we were just doing
It's
the math.
four,
It's like
it's 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 weeks tomorrow is when he announced, or not even when he announced it, when it came out. So it's like, geez, man, like that's just incredibly wishy-washy. Like I get it if, August rolls around and you're like, man, this was kind of a boring summer and I miss this. But
Right.
a month later, like you're that bored already? Like, dude, post-retirement life's going to be tough. If you're this bored already.
But
I
once
think it
again, he
is.
can still work
Yeah.
out just like he's playing. He doesn't,
He's working out.
And if that's the thing, because
I
I always
could be like Gronk and just not do anything and decide in August that he's
that
coming
would
back.
be hilarious.
because I thought, when we discussed it a month ago, I said I don't think he's going to come back because the maniacal way that he works out, if he just drops off a little bit at his age, he wouldn't feel up to coming back. But maybe
Right.
he's working out like a psycho still.
No, I don't know. And I doubt that he comes back anyway. But we just threw it out there as a hypothetical. Would you push your quarterback off of a moving train for 43-year-old Tom
Oh,
Brady? Yeah, and that's why it came up.
I would think about it. Sorry, Dak. Sorry, I would think about it.
What kind of a fan are you?
I want a Super Bowl, John. I don't care. I mean, I don't want to murder anybody, but I just want to.
Obviously,
he
you
doesn't
do.
have
You
to
want to push
die.
Dak off the train.
Okay, it's like a soft landing. It's nice and pillows and
Yes, of
blankets.
course. Maybe just a broken ankle.
Why are there pillows?
Maybe just a
He already
broken
broke
ankle.
his ankle.
Oh,
That's
no,
gonna be
not
bad.
Dak.
That's the
Yeah,
same
that'd be
one. I
bad
don't
for
know, Nick.
Dak.
We'll put pillows outside of the train, just to make sure he's safe. Would you
You-
do that,
you're-
John?
No, because I've got a Super Bowl winning
I know,
quarterback.
yeah,
I have
People forget.
this year's only Super Bowl winning quarterback.
I like the way that was
There's
phrased.
the only one, baby.
Yeah.
The only one.
Hard to lie.
He's technically right.
Hard to lie.
It's not even technically right.
Yeah.
It is right.
It feels great though. You don't look at him here drinking his diet root beer. He's like, I got the only.
I
quarter-"
got the only Super Bowl winning quarterback.
But that is a great feel. It's a great sports feeling. You don't have to sacrifice any part. You don't have to entertain the idea of sacrificing your soul for winning
Nope.
winning a championship.
Nope, because we already sacrificed all the draft picks.
That's
That's
exactly
true.
right.
Yeah.
We've already been there, done that. So you didn't even have to entertain this question.
No,
Yeah.
Great.
it's great. It is.
And you
It's-
got a World Series, so
fantastic.
you're good.
Oh yeah, I'm very good.
Yeah.
Still, that hasn't worn off. It's been 6 years.
Yeah, wow. Hasn't worn
It'll
off
be
at all.
7 years this year.
It will be.
Wow.
It'll be 6
Unless
years
they
for
win
me and
this year, of
7 for
course.
you.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
They got to play first.
That's true.
Yeah, they'd have to play first. And
Yeah, people forget about baseball being in a
Unless Bobby
lockout.
Witt Jr. hits 330 and 25 home runs.
Is that a baseball player?
maybe yes.
I was being
Maybe that's why Brady is getting restless, because he realizes, I had retired knowing that I could now sit down and watch MLB.TV all day, all throughout the summer, and not have to worry about missing a single pitch.
He was so
And
pumped.
now, no MLB.
I'm gonna entertain
He's
it.
like,
that
I'm
would be
bored.
the best. He was like, I was so pumped for this baseball
I just
season.
wanted to watch the Sox.
I was going to throw myself in, and now he can't. He's a
think-
Boston fan, or is he a Giants fan?
I don't know. He probably doesn't seem like he likes baseball that
Yeah.
much.
And if
But
he's
even though
smart,
he-
even though he was in
played-
Tampa for 2 years, because you know how
A
people,
big Rays guy?
like people like LeBron, they pretend like they like your team when he's playing in your town,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but he really doesn't, because he's actually a Yankees fan.
He loves the Yankees. He's a huge bandwagon sports fan.
Yeah, he's
It's hilarious.
LeBron
If
is
he
a
wasn't such
90s
a-
sports fan.
if he wasn't such a great basketball player, he'd be one of the worst human beings ever.
Because he is
I
a.
think
because he
it's
just
really
can't.
funny.
Because he just can't. He can't do anything.
Because I'm pretty sure
Can't
growing
pick
up, he
side.
was a Bulls fan, of course, because of
Yeah.
of Jordan. He was a Cowboys fan. He was a Yankees fan. I bet he was a big Duke basketball guy.
Oh my God, this
Oh,
guy
yeah.
is such a front runner.
He was probably a Nebraska football fan.
He probably loved Nebraska.
Oh man, I love Tommy
He
Frazier.
might have.
That'd be awesome.
He
If someone's
might
like, "Hey,
have.
who was your favorite college football team growing up?" And he said Nebraska.
Well, he loves Ohio State. He loves,
That's right.
loves
He,
Ohio
yeah,
State.
he, and they were just kind of okay.
But Nebraska was
Yeah.
my Big 12 team.
Remember the Big Eight? Remember the Big 8 days?
Colorado State was my Mountain West team.
What if he had like Prop 48 takes? He's like, ever since Prop 48, my scourge.
Yeah, and they
taking a
left the
step
Big 12
Yeah.
and can't recruit in Texas anymore.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Somebody asked LeBron about Nebraska football. I need his answers on these
Somebody
things.
should. Is that
Man,
ever come
I
up?
tell you what, if their doggone Texas wouldn't have rifled all them votes through and taken away Prop 48.
That's a good
Oh.
podcast where you just ask LeBron about random things and he just gives his takes on them. Hey, what did you think about Nirvana? And he gives Nirvana takes. I would listen to that podcast better
I
than
would
other
too.
stuff.
I would. I
Right?
really
If they were
would.
just like, let's just ask LeBron
just
one
random
random
stuff.
topic a week. Let's talk about Shawshank Redemption.
Is
Yeah, it's
the-
like 15-minute quick hitters.
Yeah.
It's like,
Butter-
give me a take on Nebraska football.
Is the butter knife the most useless knife in the drawer?
Whoa.
Out of
Wow.
the knives? I mean, yeah, definitely.
Do you use your steak knife to put butter on something?
You could use a butter knife for so many things.
Yeah, I use my butter knife all
I
the time.
hardly ever use the butter knife.
You
What do
can't
you-
cut with it.
Yeah.
You can cut some stuff.
You can.
Yeah, if it's extra soft, you might as well just tear it. You can use a fork for
you
that.
can cut toast with it. You can cut sandwiches with it.
I like the spreaders. I prefer. Do you guys have the
I
spreaders?
do have a butter dish with the spreader.
Yeah, that is more useful.
But it
than the
fell
butter
off.
knife.
Like the spreader part fell off of the handle, and so now I don't use it anymore. Like
It's
they're still
just
there.
a plastic. It's got a thick,
Yeah.
and you spread it, and you can still cut with it,
Oh,
even though it's not. It's like it's not sharp.
yeah,
You
it's
can
just for
still cut with it.
sandwiches.
But it's more
Wow,
useful
You people and your fancy
spreading.
utensils.
than the butter knife.
But so if you're spreading butter, you're using a steak knife.
No, I use the knife that's in the but that's about the only thing it's good for.
I think butter knives are a good utility thing because they're thicker than your
Mhm.
normal knives.
Mhm.
So if you have one of those cans that you need to open that have like the tab on it, you can just jam it under there,
Oh,
prop it up, wedge it.
Interesting.
You can
I've
use
never
your
had
fork for
difficulty
that.
doing that before.
There's
Yeah,
a
me
lot of
neither.
utility. Sometimes they get weird about it, or if you need to help prop up the rest of the lid,
Yeah,
the can opener.
Hmm.
Butter knives are excellent utility tools.
I just go by what runs out in my drawer.
Mm,
I'm never out of butter knives.
yeah.
Oh,
Never. I'm always out of forks.
Neither were I. We have plenty of butter knives.
It's always out of forks. Yeah.
Always out of forks.
Did you guys
Never
get
out of-
utensils for your wedding? Was that on the list, or is this a
Um,
combination of your stuff and her stuff?
No, we got plates and stuff.
Nice.
Not utensils, but we need more forks.
Yeah.
So
Just forks.
We actually got more forks recently, and there was one day
Did you lose some?
where
or
we
something?
were almost out of forks. And
the
I
worst
was
See, when there's a family
I
of
was
four,
like-
though. I mean, that's tough. You're
That's
just
so
you're
many
constantly
forks.
running through
yeah,
food.
but we pretty much run the dishwasher every day.
So do we. I
Yeah,
can't
same.
imagine what it's like to have kids. You're
Yeah.
probably running it like
The
two
prob-
times a day.
Half the problem is the boys take the food into their rooms and then they leave the utensils in there. and
so then you don't know where the forks are.
Damn,
They're just-
exactly.
they're
Kids
just
these
gone.
days.
Kids these days.
I was like that with
Exactly.
glasses of water back in the day. I would always have glasses of water just around my room. My dad
Yeah.
like, please go get those glasses. We're
I
out
was
of
never
glasses."
eating my room kid. I would usually eat at the table
Same or the living room.
or
you
the,
know?
or the living room.
Yeah, with a TV tray.
Close to the TV.
Watch some football or something. But yeah, I didn't like eating in my room. I don't like sitting and having the plate in my lap. That's just not how
Oh,
I'm trying to
definitely
roll.
not on like on your bed too.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, I
Those
don't
are the only
want
places-
food crumbs on my
Mm-mm.
bed.
Nah, I'm good.
I use a desk. I use my desk.
In your room?
Well, downstairs.
Oh, that's right. You're a downstairs eater.
I'm a downstairs guy. Well, yeah,
John's a
because
solo eater.
because
Family
dinner's
hates him.
dinner's already done by the
Yeah,
time I
you-
get home.
wow.
I'm out, so I just pick whatever up and then I sit on the floor and I use the big coffee table and I just pull it up.
Oh, I've done that move before.
Yeah, I just sit on the floor, lean up against the sofa.
Do your legs fall asleep after a while?
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
So you got to be moving around a
Yeah, you
little
gotta
bit.
move around a little bit.
Yeah, you got to do all that. But yeah, that's what I do. And I got a nice angle to my TV.
Nice.
It's very good.
It's the only way to go.
As long as you have enough butter knives to keep you through the.
Oh yeah, I got plenty of those.
I don't like this butter knife hate. Butter knives are good.
Oh, I'm anti butter knife.
Then you're wrong.
They're just the most useless utility.
They're
just
they're
useless.
not the most useless.
I don't know
They
where this
are.
came from. Is this
You
a
do
dumb
so many
debate, by the
things.
way?
It
Like,
should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's more
is
useless?
that just a take
What's
that you
more
came up with?
useless in your utensil drawer than the butter knife? What is more useless? It's not
I
that
think
it's
that
not
my measuring
useful,
spoons.
but it's the most
Honestly.
useless.
I would say the tiny spoons give the butter knives a run for their. So there's big spoons and small spoons.
I don't need the little spoons.
I don't need the
I'm
little
an
spoons,
adult.
John.
They're called
Yeah.
tablespoons and teaspoons.
No, I'm not
Don't
talking about
you-
for measuring.
No,
I'm talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
for eating.
So
Yeah,
your-
no, that
your silverware
tablespoons are
doesn't
the
have
big
two
ones and
spoons?
teaspoons
Yeah.
are the small ones.
Why do you? What's the small spoon for? Besides, you have a tiny mouth. But if you're an adult, you probably don't need the tiny.
The small spoon is supposed to be for normal eating, like soup and
Oh,
stuff.
no,
the
no,
big
no.
spoon isn't meant for
You can't put
normal
any
eating.
soup
but
on the
what's
tiny
it meant
spoon.
for?
See, the smaller spoons for us are decent sized.
Yeah.
The
What are
big
the big-
spoons, the big spoons are almost too big.
Oh. Well, then the big
They're almost
spoons
like
are pretty
serving
useless.
spoons.
basically,
Then the big ones are pretty useless for you, I guess.
Well, they're still useful.
Yeah.
Because occasionally you run out of the little spoons. Then you
Mm.
got to use the big spoons.
when I
And
got
it- man, now it makes a huge difference, especially if you're eating certain types of cereals.
Mhm.
You're getting a big old shovelful right there with the big spoon.
Yeah,
What-
yeah. We just have a different scale as far as our spoons are concerned. I think.
apparently, and
Yeah.
let's take some pictures, compare the sizes.
Show me your spoons.
Yeah. Get out the
All right,
measuring stick,
if I remember,
get out your ruler.
because we still have some of the original, the OG dining spoons, and then we bought the new ones, which are bigger, and then they came with the bigger spoons too. So we have 3 different sizes, and there is a noticeable difference.
I think my big spoon is like your little spoon. That's what it seems like.
I think that's right. For some reason, these spoons are big. It's a big spoon.
Know that feeling.
Okay, guys.
Have a good weekend.
Yep, you too.
And on that note, it is a 1 beer Friday. That is one thing the butter knife could be good for, is if you have a can of beer and the tab is.
That's what Nick was saying.
I said that earlier.
Right, but I'm saying that's one area where it can be useful, but you can also use a fork for that or a spoon.
Or the back. Yeah,
no,
the back
but
of the spoon.
you want to use the butter knife because it's thicker. There's more surface area. The fork, you risk bending the tines.
Not if you do it right.
Or if you do it from the back end, it's still more thin.
No.
Just in general.
For a can of beer? No, you can use the 2 middle tines there and the fork. You jam it in there. All you have to do is pry it up just enough so you can get your finger on it.
You're going to bend the tines, John.
No, you're not going to bend the tines. If you got
maybe
good
Nick
quality forks,
maybe Nick
we have good quality forks.
Yeah.
We got the big spoon, the little spoon, and the good quality forks.
Yeah. Someday, Nick, dare to dream. Dare to dream. By the way, when we begin the program coming up next, a topic that will have takes for thousands of years.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Thousands of years?
Maybe not thousands, but get ready, because I found the new topic that is going to be run into the ground for the next 5 years.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
The next 5 years.
Next 5 years.
Well, we'll find out next. In the meantime, here is another exciting Connor Happer Show promo with some really interesting music that they choose on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
You're my kind of guy.
Pause that for a second. Hit the pause. Hit the pause on that.
How-
Hit the pause on that.
What's going on?
This sounds
Why
like.
does our promo
doesn't
sound
it?
like the Olympics?
It does. It does. Or the start of the NBC Nightly News. I keep waiting. I keep waiting for. This is Tom Rogan. Coming up.
Where did Josh find
Connor
us?
Happer Show.
Josh, what are you doing?
Connor
I
Happer.
laugh at it every time. But it's good. Hey,
That was only the second time that I've heard
it's
it.
an earworm, though.
Connor Happer is going to be talking about the Los Angeles Rams, the champions of the National Football League.
Now you just wanted to work in another Rams reference.
No, I just wanted to work in a Tom Brokaw impersonation. When I heard that promo for the first time yesterday, I thought, when did we start running the network news?
Well, we're big Olympics fans, and we thought that it should fit the theme of the show. So there we are.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now you can listen. Now that we've mentioned this, you will never not hear the start of the NBC Nightly News theme when you hear this.
The Connor Happer Show.
You're my kind of guy. And I have to say, how long have you had your show here?
It's been 2 full months now. Yeah, we're into month 3.
Well, I listen to it, I enjoy it, and it's a damn pleasure to be here. So let's go.
Thanks,
What do
Tom.
you got?
That's awesome. I appreciate that. The Tom Chattel endorsement. That should be a thing.
Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly cloudy, warm, and gusty for your Friday afternoon, with highs today into the upper 60s and lower 70s, with southerly wind gusts possible up to 35 miles an hour. Heading into tonight, keeping mostly cloudy skies and breezy winds with us. Lows expected into the lower 50s, with a chance for isolated, non-severe thunderstorms. Heading into your Saturday, temperatures up near 70, with a chance for strong to severe storms in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
Car repair is car repair. Most places you go can change your oil or fix your brakes. The difference is the experience you'll get at Omaha Car Care. We're part of the community. We were born here, and we believe that our relationship with you should be built to last. We're going to consult you, not sell you. We're going to give you a free loaner car. We're going to treat you like a valued friend that we want to continue to see in the years to come. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
Get your Fernando's fix at 2 locations in Omaha for the best Mexican food, 70th in the Pacific and 114th in Dodge. Made fresh your way. You can even hear the fajitas sizzling. And you can also hear the fun of happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 5 p.m. The $10 taco basket, $2 off nachos, discounts off drinks, and always the home of the $6 margaritas at Fernando's, 75th and Pacific, 114th and Dodge, and now the new home of the 1620 The Zone beer at 75th and Pacific. It's Fernando's, online at fernandosomaha.com.
Give your business a whole host of options with Host Coffee. The most impressive selection of office coffee, water options, healthy food options, and vending technologies. Host Coffee, serving you since 72.
Whoever said the more the merrier sure wasn't in charge of hiring new employees, because the more unqualified candidates you have for a job, the more difficult your hiring can be. And that can make the process, well, not so merry for you. Thankfully, there's ZipRecruiter, which you can try right now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter's powerful technology finds the right candidates for your job. But unlike other sites, ZipRecruiter goes deeper. ZipRecruiter matches people with people, and you can personally invite your top choices to apply, because the perfect hire is more than a list of qualifications. It's an individual. ZipRecruiter makes hiring the right person easy, and that'll keep you and everyone else very merry.
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's right, free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers, and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
1620 The Zone is giving you a shot at not one, but 2 VIP watch parties at Horseshoe Casino for the Men's Basketball Championship Thursday, March 17th and Friday, March 18th. You and 9 of your friends will hang in your own VIP area and enjoy food and drinks courtesy of Brookside Medical. Listen every weekday from 6A to 6P to become a finalist. The guys will tell you when to call, and you'll get a 1620 The Zone t-shirt just for playing. It's the Men's Basketball Championship watch party at Horseshoe Casino from Brookside Medical and 1620 The Zone.
Here's an opportunity for business-to-business salespeople. NRG Media is looking for someone who gets excited about helping local businesses grow. Are you an idea person who can create and execute a plan? We should talk. At NRG Media, we create local marketing campaigns designed to meet a key challenge. On air, online, on-site, audio, video. It's all part of what you could do. A sales career with NRG lets you make a real difference. Business-to-business salespeople? Apply online at nrgmedia.com. NRG Media is an equal opportunity employer.
This edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone is proudly presented by Union Bank and Trust. The program starts now.
KOCN. Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO. Don't miss a moment, they'll give you your fix. They're on every day from 2 until 6. Spend your afternoons with John, Josh, and Nick. John, Josh, and Nick. They'll show you what sports talk really is.
Well, I can't wait for this topic that's going to set the world ablaze.
Ooh, baby.
Thought the Russians caused problems.
It's not that big of a deal, but it's close.
Ooh,
but it's close.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO.
Welcome. Good grief. I just saw the tweet from Nebraska baseball. They're already starting their second game. How early did they start today?
11.
Well, they won the first game.
Yeah, that game took, I saw a tweet from Brunts, 2 hours and 15 minutes. You could watch that baseball game, John, and then you could walk into a movie theater and watch the last 45 minutes of the new Batman. That's how fast that game ended.
Lord.
Or that's how long the new Batman movie is. Depending, glass half full, glass half empty.
They must have gotten rid of the DH in college baseball. That's good. Welcome, everyone, to a One Beer Friday.
Oh, feels good to say that, doesn't it?
It does. Although I thought it was supposed to be nicer today. I know we're
I know,
already
where's
getting
the cloud?
getting picky.
Yeah, what's up with the clouds?
It's a little cooler than I thought it would be, and it's very cloudy. I guess beggars can't be choosers, but
People forget it is still the beginning of March.
yeah,
It's technically not spring yet.
that's true. Are you doing some housekeeping over there?
So, yeah, we got the beer.
It should be in the fridge.
Did you guys ever do the Lion Day or Lamb Day when you were in school?
The what?
So there's the whole thing. It's if
at
March
that.
comes in like a lion, it'll end on a lamb.
I've heard that phrase.
Look, John, there you go. Right behind this hand.
Is today
Where-
a lion or
There we go. 1620 the beer right behind me. How cool is that? How fun is that?
Oh,
Yeah, very cool. Very legal. Very cool.
it's hardly you can't hardly tell what it is.
Well, don't tell that. Mark's probably watching right now.
Well, it
Get a huge banner, Mark. 1620.
Mark,
the
what you
beer.
need to do.
Why don't we
is
make
you
it
need-
into a pyramid, Josh?
Or why don't we get?
Well, yeah, we have more of them
why
here.
don't we get Josh a special hat?
A
where-
special hat.
A special hat.
It's not going to say dumbass on it, is it?
No, but the hat can have like different can holders, and you can just put the beer around your head.
Thank you, Nick. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of beer.
Yeah, but again, it's just going to look like a pyramid of cans. You're not going to be able to tell what it says.
But it looks cool.
But it looks
Sure.
cool. I can't wait for
And
that
then
too.
Damon's going to come in and elbow it and knock it down, and then that's it.
Yeah, that'll be bad. Let's not spill the beer, friends.
Well, the key is not to open it, but
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, just get a ball cap with some different can holders around it, and you can have a ring of 1620 the beers dancing around your head.
That would be awesome.
Yes,
I
it
love,
would.
I love that type of
Be good for the neck
graphics
muscles
work.
too.
Uh-huh.
Also coming up on the program today, before we get to this topic that's going to end the world,
Oh, baby.
Baz will join us, and Kent Wogamont, the movie club, Nightmare Alley
Nightmare Alley.
on HBO Max.
Yep.
The movie that we screened this week.
We were so excited, all of us, to sit down
All
and
of
watch Nick's
us were.
choice.
Yes, Nick's choice.
Nick's pick for the movie club.
Yep, Nick's pick for the movie club.
Mm-hmm.
We all sat down. We all watched it.
Kicked up our feet. Maybe we're eating dinner. Yep.
We all enjoyed it.
We all did.
Well, we'll find out if we
yeah,
enjoyed
yeah,
it.
yeah.
We'll find out if we enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, speaking of Nick, apparently he's making guest appearances elsewhere.
What?
Yep.
What?
We'll have video and photographical evidence.
No, John, don't do this.
Coming up later.
I'm looking forward to whatever
Yeah,
this is.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. And yeah, we got the usual stuff.
Oh yeah, usual
Bet of the
stuff.
day, predictions.
Mm-hmm.
I would have worn my Restore the Order shirt for predictions because order has truly been restored to predictions.
Oh,
now that the real sports expert is kicking everyone's rear end.
Yeah,
still your reigning champion right here, though.
Yeah.
Well, we're
see
about
that.
we're about to find out that was a fluke.
Yes, we are indeed.
About to find out.
It doesn't matter if it was a fluke. I still won.
Like I said to Nick last week, if he would have done this on his ACT like he did in predictions, though I think he said he didn't take the ACT, but if he would have, he would have gotten a really high grade.
Yeah,
really high score.
Remember, even a doctor who graduated at the bottom of their class is still a doctor.
That's true.
I'm still a champion.
Well, like it's hard to argue with you there.
All right, so tell me what is going to break the bank, or should we wait for because we are?
Let's do it next.
We'll do
Let's
it next.
do it next.
We're gonna-
I have some
Josh
news.
is going to break your mental bank, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to read a tweet in response to this news from Bawn.
James
BAWN.
Bawn.
Bawn. Shaken, not stirred. Who needs nuclear war when we can have nuclear takes? That is a tease for what's about to happen.
Dear God.
Nuclear
better be
takes,
good.
John.
This
No
better
longer
be
are they
good.
hot takes. They are nuclear takes.
That's a great band name.
Nuclear takes.
I'm going to put that on my list.
Oh, you'll love this, Nick. I'm going to a concert tomorrow.
What?
That I forgot I was going to.
You know you
until
can't
my-
watch.
My friend.
You can't watch it at double speed.
Yeah, you can't watch a concert double
I know,
speed.
I know. Luckily, they all have
And I
beer
didn't
there.
know Stuart Mandel had a band.
He actually, oddly enough, he did like back in college. I heard him talking about it on the
Oh
podcast.
my God, I bet that was the lamest band ever.
Probably, yeah. I forgot that I was going because I
no
invited
offense, but he's kind of got dry personality. Can you imagine him as a lead singer?
Oh my gosh, that'd be horrible.
He might have been a drummer.
She loves you, yeah,
Or a bassist.
Yeah.
But yeah, I invited a friend out for beers tonight. I said, hey, do you want to meet up at Monolithic and have a couple beers? And he goes, no, probably not, since we're already hanging out tomorrow. And I go, we're hanging out tomorrow? He goes, yeah, we're going to a concert. I was like, oh, that's right, because I'd forgot to put it on my
Wow,
calendar.
so memorable. You'd forgotten.
I've never heard of this band. Nick, tell me if you've heard of this band before, because it's at the Slowdown They're called.
Take it easy.
What are they called? All Them Witches. You ever heard of All Them Witches? You probably haven't heard of them.
They sound familiar.
Yeah, people love saying you probably haven't heard of them. So
You're
I'm
just
going to a
saying
band.
that because you don't want to come off as not being expert in everything music.
Mm-hmm.
No, I legitimately think I've heard of them before.
So yeah, I'm going to a concert this weekend.
Oh, they're from Nashville.
Yeah. They're known. If you go to their Wikipedia page, where it like lists what type of music the band has, John, blues rock, hard rock, stoner rock, acid rock.
Oh, this place sounds cool.
Psychedelic, heavy metal, and alternative rock. So this should be quite
pick one for crying
It's
out
like this
loud.
band was made for me.
Yeah, and
Pick
yet you've
one.
never listened to them, apparently, Nick.
I need to
Tough
do
look
some
for
more
Nick.
digging.
Yep. So call me the music boy. Apparently, call him the sports boy. That's what's going on here. All right, nuclear takes.
How the table turned.
Nuclear takes are coming up. Also, today we're going to need a way to qualify someone because
we are.
Do you have something?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For
Should
the
we get nuclear
VIP
takes?
basketball championship watch party, it's the tournament of great significance
Mhm.
there at Horseshoe
Mhm.
for the Thursday and Friday of the beginning of the tournament.
Oh,
you and 9 of your friends will have your own VIP area, food and drink, courtesy of Brookside Medical. And later in the program, we'll set up something here. We'll think about it during the break,
Yes, we will.
and we'll set up something
And you can qualify.
to qualify for the drawing. Got 2 of these to give away.
Yeah, I'll be 2 weeks from right now. I'll be there.
Will you still be there 2 weeks from right now? or
Maybe
you have
not
left
anymore,
already?
but I will have been there. And Robbie is going to stop by and hang out.
Nice.
Yeah, so stop by. You can do an arm wrestling contest with Robbie Lula.
So be listening for your chance to qualify once we figure out how it is you're going to qualify
Bingo.
for the big watch party for the tournament of great significance at Horseshoe Casino in Council Bluffs, courtesy of Brookside Medical, Horseshoe Casino, and 1620 The Zone.
Join 1620 The Zone in the fight against childhood cancer as we raise funds for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, where families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food. Let's cure childhood cancer. Become a partner in hope today by visiting 1620thezone.com.
You're in the driver's seat with Woodhouse. Shop, finance, and buy your next vehicle your way. From the comfort of your home at woodhouse.com or one of our 19 dealerships, we've got something for everyone. From new stylish SUVs that blend comfort and capability, or a pre-owned truck packaged for durability and everyday functionality. When it's time to upgrade your drive, shop confidently with Woodhouse, serving customers and communities since 1975. This is Woodhouse.
Fireworks, J&M Displays wants you. Help shoot an Omaha Storm Chasers game, Memorial Park display, or any of the major shows in Western Iowa and all of Nebraska. If you like to travel, J&M covers Nebraska, Kansas, and most of Missouri. They offer free training and great daily pay rates, which makes it a perfect part-time job. Visit jnmdisplays.com and click the Join Our Team tab to find out more. J&M Fireworks.
The IRS is ramping up collection, and if you owe back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, listen carefully. Before it's too late, check your eligibility for the Fresh Start program still offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax problems. Call our special hotline number now and find out in minutes if you qualify for these life-changing debt reduction programs. Business or personal, if you're in a payment plan with no end in sight, have unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to know your options, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief and stop collections immediately. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau with a 5-star rating from Yelp, this veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. Call their hotline number now, 800-914-1510. That's 800-914-1510. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-914-1510 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. But to cruise through challenges, you need someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PCs and tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get where you want to go. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
In a world where fun and cash prizes collide, one game explodes to the forefront. Cash Blast from the Nebraska Lottery. Non-stop excitement, a winning thrill ride, and starring you. Until April 12th, Play 2x2 weekly for a chance to win $5,000 or $500. And if your ticket was a 7-day draw, your prize is double. Don't miss it. Cash Blast playing at a lottery retailer near you. 2x2 top prize odds 1 in 105,000.
Attention anyone standing near a mud puddle. Trucks and Bucks is back, so take cover. The Nebraska Lottery's most popular scratch game is roaring down the road again. And this year, we're giving away 8 blue 2022 Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew Flex Fuel trucks. So buy a $2 Trucks and Bucks ticket today. You could win a new Ford F-150 and make a real splash in your neighborhood. Ford F-150 is a registered trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
Hello, I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. If you've been dissatisfied with your current banking situation, maybe it's time to move to a bank that works to deserve your business. We have an engaged staff that offers exceptional personalized service. We also have a great digital banking platform. We have 2 locations at 108th and Dodge or 202nd and Pacific. So if you're looking for a superior banking relationship, give us a call at 402-827-8100. We'll answer on the first ring. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Your Omaha hockey team is home this weekend for the final regular season outing to take on rival North Dakota. Tonight's pregame is at 6:30 with puck drop at 7:07. It's UNO versus North Dakota on your home for Mavericks hockey, 1180 The Zone.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
It's a good thing. So people need to get on board and shut the hell up.
On 1620 The Zone.
Got some Arch Madness on today. Cool stuff. Nice to see that Bally Sports, I know this will hit close to home for Royals fans who have to watch all their Royals games on the Bally Sports. It's good to know that the Bally Sports bad graphics are still a thing. Their basketball graphics are very obnoxious.
They suck, man.
I don't know why they think they have to take the whole bottom of the screen for their little score crawl. It's like, you don't need to do that.
You know how I know I'm not a sports guy?
Because you don't have any takes on it?
I've never had any takes on crawls.
Oh,
it's
man,
like
I
I
got
see
a
a
lot
new
of
one
them.
and it's like, okay, it's a different crawl than another one. It doesn't bother me genuinely.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Josh has been teasing this.
Ooh,
So
baby.
what's going to end the world?
All right. So, perhaps a lot of things, John, but this is definitely going to be among those things. I saw a tweet, Mitch Sherman, about an hour ago. Ohio State, I'm just going to read the tweet from Mitch Sherman.
Just read it verbatim.
Ohio State has entered the picture with Gretna, Nebraska, 2023 QB Zane Flores, offered recently by K-State, Oklahoma State, Kansas, and Pitt. Flores visited this week with Buckeyes' QB coach Corey Dennis and plans to talk soon to Ryan Day. A visit to Columbus could be on the horizon.
Do.
Yeah.
Do. Yeah.
So get ready. I mean, we talked about this with Schaefer a few weeks ago when Nebraska got a quarterback commit, in fact, and how, it's kind of unfair, and these were his words, it's kind of unfair that William Watson III is going to be forever compared to Zane Flores, even though they've never met each other. They presumably don't know each other, but because this is how things work and because this is a quarterback, Flores is from Nebraska. And oddly enough, as Stu Manji pointed out, it's a Western Nebraska quarterback from Gretna. And so I thought they were doing well with the Western Nebraska players. But in all seriousness, it was going to be a thing already. Well, now Ohio State has entered the picture. I mean, look, it's one thing if Kansas State and Oklahoma State, Kansas and Pitt, not to poo-poo those programs, because honestly, a lot of them have been better than Nebraska
They
lately.
all have been better than Nebraska recently.
Except for Kansas. But when Ohio State has entered the chat, I mean, it's the best program in the Big Ten. It is a top 4 program in the entire country, and they are who everyone, kind of looks up to in this part of America. So I love this tweet from Jeff. He says, "This is why I'm on Twitter and not a coach. I would quite honestly just offer him to stop the takes from happening. We're going to offer this guy because we don't want to read the tweets."
Right.
But in all seriousness, dang, what are these schools seeing that Nebraska,
that Nebraska's not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole new ball game now.
Yes.
I would agree, even though Nebraska has been on par with and below to a lesser and a greater degree. Oklahoma State and Kansas State.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now that Ohio State's in the picture, it's changed everything because now the perception of him. Now there's going to be other bigger name schools that are going to go,
yeah,
what are they seeing in him?
Yep.
And that's going to lead. Now it's not going to necessarily guarantee or lead to offers from those schools.
Correct.
But they're going to start snooping around.
Yeah, Ohio State.
They're going to start looking at film, and there probably will be a few more decent offers.
Yeah.
And it also, and listen, if this would have been Minnesota or Wisconsin, this would have raised a lot of eyebrows.
Great
but
point.
Now it's Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State, the program that, had Justin Fields, developed him. Look, 5-star, so he was obviously good, but they developed him into a first-round draft pick. And then last year, what they were able to do, another really good offensive season with really good quarterback play. And yeah, so you said whole different ball game now. And it would have been, there would be, look, if and when Wisconsin or Minnesota offers, there will be a similar reaction. But there's just something else about seeing Ohio State.
Now keep in mind, they're talking to him. They haven't offered yet.
Sure.
They have not offered
That's
yet.
true. They've entered the picture.
They've entered the picture, but they haven't offered.
Yeah.
So that certainly all of this changes. But for the purposes of the conversation and the debate, let's pretend that he gets the offer.
Mm-hmm.
Then things change a little bit. And listen, is it fair for a Will Watson to be?
It's not.
To be compared? No. But it is fair to be critical of the home state program for not seeing the same things or not, looking at him in a similar way because they don't have the benefit of the doubt yet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one way that would put all of this to bed is if Nebraska starts winning again with whoever the quarterback is.
Yeah, because then it's almost like, well, cool, congrats, but
right,
you're winning. Like the big
people don't get as bent out of shape about the in-state kids getting opportunity when the team is winning.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that the hyper-focus on, well, why didn't Nebraska offer this kid? Or why didn't Nebraska win out on this in-state kid? It's all happening over the last 20 years when the fortunes of the program have gone noticeably south. Now, there will be those that argue, well, that's part of the reason why they went south is because Nebraska turned its back on the in-state kids.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly that argument can be hashed and rehashed. But the critics will not be as critical or as vocal or as loud if the program starts to succeed.
Yeah, if Danny Woodhead, if that career happens from like 93 to 97, 98, it's like a cute story more than anything. Like, oh, man, that's cool.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. He went to Shadron State and he was really good. But because it happened after the Tom Osborne era, after they were winning championships, after they were competing for national titles, it added this extra weight to it. And so anytime that a player from this state goes somewhere else, and especially when that player turns out to be good, Noah Fant, another one, this is what happens. These are the reactions to it. Fair or unfair? But
yeah, the other part of it too is if, Watson ends up being a really good quarterback for Nebraska and,
yeah, then you really don't have to worry about it.
Then you're like,
well, okay, house money. Like, who cares?
Right. Yeah. But sure, people are gonna react, and this is what happens when you're not a winning program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you don't get the
especially
benefit of
from
the
a
doubt.
smaller state, because it's different here than it is in Ohio.
Yeah.
Ohio State doesn't get every great player out of the state of Ohio.
Yeah, most of them.
They get a good percentage of them, but then they also win.
Uh-huh.
This is a smaller state where it used to be the assumption that every great player coming out of this state wanted to and did play for Nebraska, which isn't totally true because there have been notable defections, even during the glory days. But when you do come from a smaller state and you have taken an extra sense of pride in the in-state product and the walk-on program, these things, I'm guessing these things don't get debated quite as much in Ohio or in Georgia, using those states as an example, because those programs have been winning.
Well, yeah, and they're just so good at locking them down. So it's
and they are good at locking them down. But they are also those players are also perceived to be higher ranked players who are getting attention from bigger schools stick out more like a sore thumb in this part of the country because we don't produce as many.
Yeah, let's be honest. If Georgia doesn't offer a player from the state of Georgia, their fans are like, well, there's a reason. And then they move on. And look, they've earned that. They've earned that now. They've won a national championship. They can pick and choose. They can do whatever they want with players from inside the state, and they're not going to be judged for it. But that's what happens when you win. That is, you said it a few times this week that the winners, they usually write.
The winners get to write history.
And now, and it is a different thing, but they get to control that narrative. They can pick and choose. They can do what they want with players from in-state.
Ryan says, do you call this the Burrow effect? That's the other part of it too. We didn't mention it, but the recency of Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And that stings a little bit more to some people.
Mm-hmm.
I, for one, yes, will I look at it with curiosity? Absolutely. I won't go all in on Nebraska, you blew it again, until we start to see the results of all of these changes that are made. If Nebraska starts to turn this thing around and, starts to win, I'm not going to look at it quite the same.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't seen these guys in action yet. These guys meaning the new coaches, the changes that they've made in the program to see if they're actually going to work.
Yeah.
Coming up, Baz will join us in about 45 minutes or so. We'll keep you up to date on what's happening with, we've got Nebraska baseball going on now. Creighton's going to be starting up here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball over at the Chuck. We got Arch Madness.
Man.
Nebraska's women are playing tonight.
Mm-hmm. Creighton's tomorrow.
And, it doesn't start till tomorrow. Big Ten wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Feel the excitement.
Back after this on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Email Sharp and Betting on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever's on your mind. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me at Gary at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
It's time to license your pets. If you're a pet owner in Omaha or Sarpy County, you're legally required to license by March 15th. This year, for your health and safety, we encourage you to stay home and license by mail, online at nehumanesociety.org, or you can drop your registration in the secure drop box in the entrance of our shelter. Be a responsible pet owner, obey the law, and avoid late fees. License your pet by March 15th. For more information, nehumanesociety.org.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during tax season because so much sensitive info is all together.
Before we start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info, has anyone seen Social Security number?
Not me.
Nope. Oh no, he's been stolen.
LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
At Baker's, we believe in higher standards for fresh. So we do up to a 27-point inspection on our produce. Like for oranges, we check for scarring and sunburn, allowing only the best produce to reach our shelves. Because when it comes to fresh for everyone, we believe the juice is worth the squeeze. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
We're hiring for immediate openings with next day pay, benefits, and great perks. Apply today at jobs.kroger.com/bakers.
Okay, let's get a photo of the bride and groom standing next to that giant mud puddle. Good. Now smile. Oh,
Honey, don't look now, but you're covered in mud.
Oh, so is your white tux.
You know what this means, don't you?
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery is back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is the happiest day of my life. Don't you think we should head to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer?
I do.
Trucks and Bucks is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
We're here with Sam Taylor, who was recently rescued after being shipwrecked on a remote Pacific island since 1993. Mr. Taylor, how are you feeling?
Sunburned?
After your lonely ordeal, is there anything we can get you?
How about a Powerball quick pick?
With the starting jackpot in the millions in drawings Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, everybody wants to know about Powerball from the Nebraska Lottery.
Would you like something to eat? Some coconut cream pie?
You're kidding, right?
Top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Listen to Woodhouse Auto Family Blue Jay Overtime, the Creighton men's basketball postgame show on 1620 The Zone, and live from the downtown Addie Sports Bar and Grill on 10th Street, right after every home game, exclusively on your home for Creighton Blue Jays, 1620 The Zone.
I'm Mary Neubauer with the Iowa Lottery. March is National Problem Gambling Awareness Month when we highlight and remind Iowans that help is always available 24/7 here in our state.
And I'm Eric Preuss with the Iowa Department of Public Health. Visit yourlifeiowa.org to learn more about problem gambling or to start the conversation with someone who cares by clicking on live chat or by calling 1-800-BETS-OFF.
It's free and confidential.
And it's something you can do anytime.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Another response to our discussion about Zane Flores. Ray tweets in JTech Constructions on Twitter feed. He says, could it possibly be him and Scott Frost, him being Zane Flores, had a conversation? Go out and get wined and dined. The offer is unofficially out there. A lot can happen from the time Ohio State talking to him to when he needs to report for training. I'm with Josh, though. If Ohio State wants him, we need him. I would be surprised if there was like an unspoken offer. That is, I mean, they've already offered and received a commitment from another quarterback.
Right.
And I don't think they're going to take two. They already have so much eligibility. You know, Casey Thompson has the least amount of eligibility. He has 2 years. Everybody else, Logan, he has 3 or 4. I think he has 3. Chuba has 4.
Yeah.
And then it's 5 years. Yeah. So there's a lot of eligibility remaining in that quarterback room. So I'd be surprised if there was a soft offer out there and that they would be, interested in taking 2 dudes. But that's just me.
Okay, you were piling those cans up. What is that plaque?
Damon
got a plaque?
Damon Benning in 2020 was the recipient of the Omaha Education Association's 2020 Media Award.
I didn't know the Omaha Education Association gave out media awards.
Honoring an individual or organization for outstanding contributions to Omaha students and teachers through the use of the local media. Good for Damon.
That was all. Must have been all those. I love me some public schools commercials.
Good for Damon.
Good for you, Damon. Yeah. I just noticed that it was like
put it up.
there's a Damon plaque over there. I thought maybe for a fleeting moment I thought, is that the Orange Bowl MVP?
Yeah.
Oh,
sadly, it's not.
It's not the Orange Bowl MVP.
Sadly, it's not.
I asked a question today on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed, asking those of you who are Jays fans, have the Jays already met or exceeded your expectations for this season, or do they still have work to do?
What are the options?
We do a lot of these polls.
Typical Bob Bishop.
We do a lot of these polls. Very rarely do we get, especially in a 3 or a 4-way, one response that so dominates the others.
Correct.
But the options were they've met the expectations, they've exceeded the expectations, or they still need work.
All right, I just want to say for the latter, anyone who voted for that, What I mean, I guess congrats on having high expectations
I
and
would
being
like-
right, but what the hell?
Well,
who are these people?
Before I get critical, I would just like to know, well, what were the expectations? If you're a person that said they still have work to do to meet my preseason expectations, I would just ask, what were your preseason expectations? 80% say that Creighton has exceeded their season expectations already. 11% say needs work. 9% say met.
Wow. I'm surprised. I'll be honest. I'm surprised that 11% of people said needs work. Just because
I'm not. I mean, there's always going to be, folks who are, going to be different.
I guess, but like, dang, I don't want to be a friend with you if that's what you were expecting this year. For me, it was an easy vote.
I'll play devil's advocate for a moment, even though I don't.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to defend these.
No, I'm
these
not defending it.
people.
I'm just going to play devil's advocate and say, well, maybe what they were anticipating was this is a fact, the most talented incoming freshman class Creighton has ever brought in.
Yeah, I guess.
The most talent they've
and
ever
I'm not
brought
saying
in.
I guess on the talent. I'm saying I guess on that type of mindset.
And we've seen in college basketball, teams that bring in young, talented classes who are going to get a chance to play right away. We knew these guys were going to get a chance to play right away because of all the departures. That there are some who see, oh, okay, well, these guys are that highly rated. I mean, Creighton's name was up there with some of the biggest names in all of college basketball. You don't see that every day. Playing devil's advocate,
yeah,
could see some folks saying, well, then they should be good enough to be in the tournament.
Fair.
And maybe
fair.
win a game in the tournament.
Yeah, I guess and I can only speak for myself here.
I'm personally not agreeing.
Yeah.
But
I mean, look, the expectations.
I'll hear the argument.
The broad expectations that we can say are quantifiable. The preseason Big East, media poll.
Yep.
They had 7th or 8th? Eighth place in the media poll. Speaking for myself, I know that I thought they would be like an NIT-ish type team.
That's where I was.
But I thought he said something really interesting yesterday when we had him on the show in the 4:00 hour, Nick Baugh. And he brought up one of those early season games that you guys called on the radio. And he said you guys took off your headphones and you're like, oof. What did he say? Like, this team is going to be a struggle just to get to the NIT.
Yeah.
And I think back to, because my expectations were at one level, and then I definitely dropped them in November. Like, oh boy, congrats on beating Nebraska, but my expectation for them were way out of whack. But I saw what you did in some of your other non-conference games. I have to change my view on this year. And I was basically stuck in that mindset even after the Villanova win, mainly because January was so up and down. They'd play well, but then they'd lay a stink bomb. They play well and they'd lay a stink bomb. They had the 29-2 run, to begin a second half of a game. It's like, geez, you guys are just really struggling. So my expectations did definitely bottom out, probably to that where they're going to be fighting for an NIT berth. And we know what's happened since. And I said it yesterday when we were talking about the Coach of the Year discussion. The reason why Greg McDermott, probably should win it is not just because they were picked to finish 8th and right now they're sitting at 3rd. It's that they were picked to finish 8th, had a lot of injuries to important key cogs in this whole thing, and now find themselves at 3rd, including another win this week, after the injury to Ryan Nembhard, and they get a victory, over UConn. So, I am with the 80% by far. They have definitely exceeded my expectations both before and even in the midst of the season for what I thought they would do.
James writes, Jays have wildly exceeded expectations. Yeah, mine were, and I never, I don't know if they either didn't invite me or they decided not to do the show this year, but usually Tim and Ross, they do the media roundtable where they bring in all these different media folks and they give a season prediction. We never did that, or at least I never did that. Thanks a lot, Tim, for remembering me. I would have picked, probably upper teens wins and an NIT.
Yeah. And where would you had them in the conference? Bottom half.
Like
7th, 6 or
7, yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Ish.
Yeah.
And this was part of my spiel yesterday about why I think Mack is the coach of the year and not Ed Cooley. While Creighton was picked 8th and will finish either 3rd or 4th, and Providence was picked 7th and will finish 1st. Yes, by math, that's a very impressive run, and you can't deny the coach of the conference champions, that award. But in my estimation, I thought Creighton's placing in the preseason of 8th was pretty close. I didn't think Providence should have been that low.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I think Mack has done, because of that and other reasons, Mack is done, coach of the year worthy coaching this year. But when you look at how they have done it, and if you would have told me, hey, not only is, Creighton going to be playing 3 freshmen but you're not going to have Sharif Mitchell, who was one of only 3 guys back who had any kind of extensive experience. And knowing how Creighton has been playing the last few years, the reliance on the defensive stopper, the Tyshawn Alexander, Kyrie Thomas, Denzel Mahoney / Damian Jefferson role that we've seen the last 3 or 4 seasons, 5 seasons. That was probably going to be Reef's role. And if you would have told me before the season, oh yeah, and you're not going to have Reef this year. He'll play a couple of games in November and December, and then he's going to be done.
See you later.
I would have said, yeah.
Yeah.
Because then I would have known that, and by the way, that means Nembhard is going to definitely be the starting point guard. Because again, Nembhard was supposed to be, at least coming into the season, there was talk of playing both he and Reef at the same time. But then all of a sudden, nope, the entire point guard job is thrust on the back of this young freshman. And he had a great start. We, ran into a rough patch in January, as the team did. And then, of course, in February, I thought he was hitting his second win before the broken wrist. Then if you would have told me, oh, yeah, and John Christophilus, who I thought was going to be one of the guys that the Jays would look to be a primary perimeter threat, he came along a little bit slower and hadn't broken into the lineup. And then just about the time he was going to start to see more minutes, according to Mac, he injures his foot. He's done for the year. Oh, and then you add, what happened to Arthur and, the twisted ankle from Kalkbrenner. And you go up and down the line. When you consider all of that stuff, what this team has done, being as shorthanded as they are. Oh, and by the way, they also went through a stretch where they played 9 games in the month of February, 6 of them on the road. And they came out of that 7-2.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they were 7-1 going into the last one in February.
Yeah, there's no question that they have exceeded my expectations.
A couple other responses, including a very funny one in hindsight. E says, way far exceeded. I was seriously expecting maybe 3 conference wins. Trent says, for what they had to replace, they've definitely exceeded expectations. I was expecting a 500 conference record with an NIT bid in a rebuild year. What McDermott has done is outstanding, even though Cooley's probably going to get it. Greg's deserving of coach of the year. And this one from Andrew is a great reminder of the expectations of actually November, because he writes, this can only be exceeded. They were 4-point underdogs versus Nebraska, for Christ's sake.
Some people thought they were 10-point underdogs.
Yeah, Nick, you idiot. But I mean, seriously, man, think about that. Think about where they were in the month of November, and think about how they played in the month of November. They looked like garbage in times. I'm watching some of these early season games what is
Except
this?
against Nebraska.
Except against Nebraska.
Nebraska and Brown. Great. They look good against Brown.
But otherwise, it was tough.
It was.
Tough sledding. And that's why, I asked that question yesterday of Ravi, and I understood his answer, and I ultimately agree. But I basically said, hey, does this team have a better chance to win in the tournament versus some of those other Creighton teams in the past? And the answer is going to be no, just because they're not talented enough. The Doug McDermott teams always had a higher ceiling. So the fact that they went 3-3 over 3 years, yeah, I know what their ceiling ended up being because they lost in the second round, but come on, they were a better team than that. In my opinion, you put them in a variety of tournaments, if you just math it out, they're going to be more successful than not. But this team does have a way about them where they can muddy up games or the games can get muddied up, and yet they still find themselves coming out on the winning end. And so while I don't think that they have a higher ceiling than those teams, in a way, man, I'm almost now expecting a couple weeks from now them to pick up a couple of gritty wins and make it to the second weekend. Even though there have been far better Creighton teams that were unable to do so, this team just has that. They once again, they have that way about them. And I don't know how to make sense of it just given all the injuries. It's one thing to be like a quote unquote gritty basketball team and to fight and win ugly games,
Right.
but they're doing it again so short, man.
And here's the thing: it's not so much that they're intentionally trying to ugly up games or muck up games, as the terminology goes. I mean, this is a team that still wants to get out and run. They're just not as efficient when they do it. They're just having to win with pure defense.
And they are.
They're having to win with pure team defense.
What was the number Nick had yesterday? 23rd in Ken Palm defense?
They're 23rd in adjusted defensive efficiency.
So think about it, top 25 defensive team now. I think this tweet from Royce is pretty interesting. He says, am I the only one that thinks Creighton should be in the tourney every year? They now, after this year, I mean, they've been in the tournament a ton under Mac. This is probably kind of maybe that last hurrah that I will have about them mentally of expecting them to make the dance every year. Because for the most part, if you were to ask me before this year, hey, Josh, over 5 years, how many times should Creighton make the tournament? I would probably say 4. Just given the level of basketball that they play at now, given the conference that they're in, and given the neighborhood that they recruit in, I would say 4 out of 5 years, Creighton should make the tournament. And that does not have to be a diss because, like, Kentucky misses a tournament sometimes, but when you have this perfect kind of storm of, seniors and veterans, that's when you really think about putting together runs. But that they're going to make the tournament with this team, yeah, that I will now be expecting them to make the tournament every single year. And sometimes it'll be probably as a 9, 10, 11. And then other times they're going to have a chance to be a 3 seed, a 4 seed, and really be in the conversation to make a deeper run. And then another one from Dan. He says, I don't think Mac should get credit for bringing a team together so quickly after all the adversity they faced from the comments he made last year. And this is interesting because I do think that he deserves credit for the, handling the fallout like he did. But what we do need to acknowledge that, I mean, he was the reason that the fallout started in the first place.
But when you think of the fallout was one player. And you're going to say, well, it was Ty Washington. But don't listen.
Oh, I didn't mean fallout like that. I meant fallout just in how he's viewed now, or how he could have been viewed, and how maybe things could have really gone sideways, with maybe a locker room not believing him or not.
Right, but then I guess I don't understand the point of Dan's. Oh, okay. I see what he's saying.
Yeah.
Credit for bringing them back. Right.
Yeah. I was just pointing out, like, he started it, and then he's done a great job of fixing it. But this isn't like, handling the adversity of, like, let's say just COVID. He didn't start COVID. COVID just happened. They had to handle it. He started this. The event was kicked off because of comments that he made.
Right.
But yeah, he's done a great job at everything else since then. It seems like, at least on the surface.
There has, I mean,
a lot of conversations last year. A lot of tough conversations.
There were a lot of tough conversations last year, and at least out in the world I exist in, what happened last year in Xavier might as well have happened 20 years ago. Because it seems like, the people that were up close and there had either, moved on or forgiven him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's already, gone steps to, atoning for that with some of the things, he's doing in the community.
Yeah.
So, I guess I misheard when you were reading Dan's tweet what was happening. Because, yes, it didn't, outside of Ty Washington, it did not affect him in recruiting.
No.
And I would contend that Washington was probably going to be gone anyway, even if the comments hadn't happened, because guess who swooped in and got him? Kentucky.
Yeah.
And you might remember that was around the same, well, a little bit after the time, but closing in on the time where NIL became a thing. There was can't remember, I think we even talked about it on the show. There was a big article about Ty signing a deal with a car dealership.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the early ones. So, that I think it was kind of a perfect storm there of, what had taken place. But I have a feeling that no matter what had happened last February, I think Ty Washington would still be playing for Kentucky right now.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I could be wrong. Coming up, We are going to there's an interesting Husker subject that kind of blends into a bigger picture about expectations and players who want to move on quickly that I want to get to later in the show. Chris Basnett is going to join us. Kent's Movie Club is coming up.
And speaking of the movie club, in the 4 o'clock hour.
In the 4 o'clock hour.
The 4 o'clock hour. Here is how we are qualifying the lucky listener today for the watch party for the Tournament of Great Significance. We're going to put up a scroll on 1620 The Zone TV at some point in the 4 o'clock hour.
In the 4 o'clock hour, there will be a graphic.
And so it's just going to be the first person who called, first person who sees it, right?
Yep.
Winners. Winners.
So when you see it, you call.
And what's this going to say? Like, call us?
It'll be obvious.
Yeah, okay.
It'll be obvious.
Yeah, like, did you enjoy Nick's takes on the movie for the movie club? Something like that, perhaps?
Perhaps.
Cool. 402-951-1620. That's the phone number to call.
So if you're not already doing so, and by the way, now all 3
I saw it this morning.
of our shows are streaming video.
Yeah.
Sharp and Betting turned the cameras on today. So now everybody is streaming
That's great.
video at 1620 The Zone TV. So you should, if you're not already a subscriber to our channel on YouTube, do so.
Yeah, we're getting close to 1,000. We would
follow
love
us
1,000.
on Twitch also.
On Twitch, yeah, the gamers are still hanging out over there.
Gamers rise up.
Gamers aren't watching Sharp and Betting.
You don't think so?
No,
you don't think there's any gamers that like to watch Sharp and Betting?
No, they're just going to bed when Sharp and Betting comes on the air because they've been up all night playing their video games.
They're playing that Elden Ring. Have you seen this? Have you heard of
it? Oh, Elden Ring.
Nick needs new pants.
I need to buy that.
The hell?
It's some game that came out this week, and everybody's like,
it's
Elden
a very
Ring.
It's a good game.
It sounds like my old mechanic or something.
George R.R. Martin wrote some of the stuff that's in the game.
Good to see George is writing stuff, not the books though. Jerk.
So he's making video games instead?
He's writing stuff for video games.
I don't think he's ever going to. He's the 6th book or even the 7th. They're never coming out.
7.
It was really fun.
Well, I mean, the way they ended the show was so perfect that I figured there's no way I can top that.
George, I dislike you a lot. But yeah, they're playing the video. They're playing the Ring.
They can troll the morning show though. Gamers like to troll.
Do they?
I don't like this idea.
They're probably like Johnson. They're probably.
I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying that
they're just going to bed.
Sick your people on the show.
The Mountain
Nick.
Dew is just wearing off, and they're falling asleep.
The Dorito dust on their fingers.
The Dorito dust on their fingers.
Real gamers don't go to bed until 7.
7? Wow, they stay up for the first hour of the show.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow, what a life.
Back in a minute, 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. We are just about a month and change away from you needing to get your taxes done. I've already gotten mine done, got my return, feeling really good. And of course, when that happens, I'm always thinking, what do I want to do with all of this money? Well, may I recommend giving my friends at Kugler Vision a call at 402-558-2211. Find out about, first of all, the consultation process. Figure out which of those 7 different procedures is going to work best for you. They have awesome payment plans as well that you can look into, and you can treat yourself to the gift of great vision because we have entered now that period where the weather's going to be awesome. You're going to be outside a lot. You're going to be going to sporting events, concerts, whatever it is, movies, and you want to be sure that you can see as good as possible. And that's, of course, where Kugler Vision comes in. Maybe you'll get LASIK. Maybe you'll get a different procedure like I had done. Either way, you will see crystal clear moving forward, and your life will be a whole lot better and a whole lot more enjoyable. 402-558-2211 or at their website, kuglervision.com.
Zone, taste of our takes. Sharp and Betting in the morning.
The head coach of Nebraska is Will Bolton. He joins us now on Sharp and Betting in the morning. You're going to coach a real full season in year number 3. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Yeah. We got jokes, Coach.
You know what? You're not wrong, though. I deal in absolute truth in my world, and that you're not lying. So we're fired up to be able to play a full season.
For more, tune in every day to 1620 a.m. or go to 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly cloudy, warm, and gusty for your Friday afternoon with highs today into the upper 60s and lower 70s with southerly wind gusts possible up to 35 miles an hour. Heading into tonight, keeping mostly cloudy skies and breezy winds with us. Lows expected into the lower 50s with a chance for isolated non-severe thunderstorms. Heading into your Saturday, temperatures up near 70 with a chance for strong to severe storms in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
Baseball season is coming for the UNO Mavericks. Season tickets at Tal Anderson Field are on sale now, and plans start at just $265. Go to omavs.com/ticks or call 402-554-6287 to get your tickets now.
At Dingman's, our first priority is protecting your safety. We are here to be your personal advocate to ensure you receive safe, proper repairs by the highest skilled technicians in the industry. Stop in to experience the Dingman difference today. At Dingman's, we would rather be the best than apologize for anything less.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
You're in the driver's seat with Woodhouse. Shop, finance, and buy your next vehicle your way. From the comfort of your home at woodhouse.com or one of our 19 dealerships, we've got something for everyone. From new stylish SUVs that blend comfort and capability, or a pre-owned truck packaged for durability and everyday functionality. When it's time to upgrade your drive, shop confidently with Woodhouse, serving customers and communities since 1975. This is Woodhouse.
Hey guys, it's the new year. Are you still struggling with erectile dysfunction? I've yet to meet anyone that enjoys timing those intimate moments around a pill. Well, now you don't have to. The advanced wave technology at Brookside Medical has been shown by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic to restore and even regrow blood vessels. It can improve circulation and eliminate erectile dysfunction. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us in the next 2 minutes and you'll receive a consultation, assessment, and blood flow ultrasound free, plus a special gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. Trust me. This is a $600 value, free to callers now. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Guys, get rid of your ED and get that spark back. Call Brookside Medical now to qualify. 402-671-7777.
It's that time of year again. He's back. Old Man Winter has arrived. If you notice the cold air leaking through your home's windows, give J-Tech Construction a call for a free estimate. Keep winter cold outdoors where it belongs. Let the official exterior experts, J-Tech Construction, upgrade you to triple pane replacement windows and start saving money on your energy bills. The winter cold doesn't have to mean higher heating costs. Get all the details by going to yourexteriorexperts.com and get started.
Wanna bet? Las Vegas is miles away. The sportsbook at Ameristar Council Bluffs is much closer. We're your 50-yard line. Behind home plate. Center court ticket. To real-time odds and over-unders. We've got all the action and the best odds in town. So grab the crew and place all your bets on all your favorite teams at the Sportsbook at Ameristar Council Bluffs.
Must be at least 21. Terms subject to change. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. Sports betting is legal in Iowa and not Nebraska.
Now, Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct, you better ask it.
With John Bishop and Josh Peterson.
'Tis the season, basketball fans. March is upon us, and that means madness. Of course, we can't say the words March and madness together at the same time, or the NCAA will sue us. Trust me on this. It's happened before. For local basketball fans, except those who wear red, that means we're watching the bracketologists. Will the Blue Jays make the tournament? Will John spaz out like an 8-year-old left alone in a candy store?
Hey, you got a foul! He was out of bounds! He was out of bounds! That is not a foul. It's a screen for the exits. Thank you. Jays win! Jays win! Jays win!
Who should Blue Jay fans be watching tonight? Who could spoil their invite to the big dance? Unsportsmanlike Conduct has the answers. Creighton fan, do you know who you rooting for?
Well, yesterday, without even having to lift a finger, which is a good thing because this team is very thin right now. They can't save all the energy they can. The Jays moved up 2 spots in the net.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't even have to do anything. And
yeah, look at this.
And their predictive metrics got better. So apparently the nerds like Ken Palm and Sagarin and BPI, whoever he is.
Yeah, Bob.
Finally came to their senses. No.
They rested really well yesterday, and they were like, we have to move them up.
Yeah.
They ate healthy food. They had some smoothies.
So their overall average in those 3 predictive metrics is now 66. In the results-based metrics, they are 34th. Nothing changing in the quad 1 or quad 2 wins. I thought, now this graphic is a little dated.
No.
Well, it's because Tim just put out his new
latest bracket. Okay.
And his new bracket has Creighton 9 playing LSU.
LS who, John?
LSU.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're the second team on the 10 seed line on Bracket Matrix right now. They are in 109 out of 112 brackets.
Yes. So that's the latest with the resume. Now, as far as last night's results,
how'd they go?
Good. Kansas won. Iowa won. Washington won.
Nick is pumped.
Memphis and SMU did win as bubble teams, but not bad overall. And today, it's kind of a light schedule. In fact, one of the games going on right now as we speak
commercial
at Arch Madness. Now, this is where it starts to get a little more splitting hairs.
Because we're talking about dirty bid stealers now too, right?
We're going to start talking about dirty bid stealers over the weekend. And if you're not familiar, dirty bid stealers are those teams who should not win their conference tournaments, who end up winning their conference tournaments, thus stealing bids away and making the at-large pool just a little bit smaller because, for example, in Arch Madness, some people believe that Loyola is an at-large worthy team. Some don't, but some do. If anyone but Loyola Chicago wins Arch Madness, that has the potential of being a dirty bid stealer.
So like next week at this time, we'll be talking about Nebraska potentially being a dirty bid stealer
Sure.
going into the weekend
Sure.
where they'll finally air a game on CBS again.
So that's why I do not have a mark. I actually, if you really want to be technical, I think you're rooting for Loyola to win Arch Madness. Just let the favorite win. Then you don't have to worry about, a Northern Iowa or a Drake. Sorry, D-Rock, coming in and possibly stealing a bid away.
Okay.
So, and Loyola's up like 20 or 22 at halftime. They're up 17, 44-27. Bradley just hit a 3 at the end of the first half at Arch Madness. Also, BYU, this is another one splitting hairs.
Yeah.
Now, if BYU right now is on the outside looking in, according to Bracket Matrix, if BYU runs the table at the West Coast Conference Tournament, there's a good chance they're a dirty bid stealer because you got San Francisco, St. Mary's, and Gonzaga in that conference. All 3 of those teams are likely going to get at-large bids.
Mm-hmm.
But if BYU wins the conference tournament, that's a dirty bid stealer.
Interesting how much that conference has changed year to year because last year it was one bid league, if I remember. I think it was just Gonzaga because
did St. Mary's,
they took a big step. One of the last couple of years, they had a really down season.
So, but on the plus side of it, BYU, if they get into the top 50, that elevates Creighton's win over the Cougars back to a Q1 win. So again, a little bit of splitting hairs. So we'll be watching the dirty bid stealers, especially next week. And that is who you're rooting for.
Oh, nothing for the weekend.
I can't believe John still found a way to work the Rams into who you're rooting for.
Pretty amazing.
How did I do that? What are you talking about?
Bottom right corner. If Rams stay in that top 50.
Well, that's Colorado State's nickname.
I know. I was making a joke.
I thought it was funny, Nick. That was actually a pretty solid joke.
Thank you, Josh.
We're talking about teams that are playing, championship level basketball. The Rams are a team that plays championship level
basketball?
Football.
Real quick.
They probably could play championship level basketball. I bet Aaron Donald could probably play a mean 4 or a 5. He's not very big, tall-wise, but you're going to move him out of his spot in the post? Hell no.
By the way, we got a tweet from Mike saying Loyola is the 4 seed in Arch Madness. The seed that you gave, that was the bracket matrix composite for them, right?
Yes.
The one that you said, okay. Yeah,
yes. Yeah, the seeds on the graphic page, the seeds to the left of the team name, that's their current seed on bracket matrix. Murray State, who's playing Southeast Missouri. You're rooting for them because you want Murray State to win the OVC tournament because anyone else wins out of that league is likely a dirty bid stealer. So they're an 8 seed. Loyola's an 11. You see BYU and Belmont are both RV or receiving votes. So they're on the wrong side of the bubble according to bracket matrix.
And then
that's what that number means, by the way.
And then one more quick email before we talk to Baz. John emailing in Equitable Bank inbox. He says, if Nebraska were to win the Big Ten and steal a bid, the Big Ten Conference champion would be playing in a playing game. He's probably right, but there was this team. I want to make sure I have it right. Okay.
But
George? Do you remember Georgia in 2008? It's such a weird question, but Georgia in 2008, they were a bad basketball team. They were, I think, they were talking about this. Baz and the guys were talking about this on their podcast this week. I think they were 4-14. They were 4-12 in conference that year. They were 13-16 overall. They won the SEC,
right? And
they entered the NCAA tournament as a 14 seed. A power school conference champ was a 14 seed. So maybe Nebraska would be in the playing game, but maybe they'd be a 14.
I don't.
Have the rules changed now where they have to be an 11?
I don't believe if you get an auto bid. I don't believe if you get an auto bid from a power league, I don't think you go into the play-in game. I don't think you can go in the play-in game.
Okay, so maybe they'd be a 14 seed like 2008 Georgia was.
If I'm wrong, I stand corrected. But I thought the play-in games, the first 4, were designated only for, and these were designated only for at large. Obviously, there are the play-in games for the lower end regular or tournament champions in some of the mid-major conferences or low major conferences.
Yeah.
But I thought, like UCLA last year was a first 4 team. They were an at large.
Yeah.
I don't believe a conference tournament champion can fit into there. If I'm wrong, I stand corrected. I'll look it up.
Well, yeah, because that's got to be the talking point for next week. What seed will Nebraska be when they win the Big Ten?
Well, we can ask Chris Basnet that because he
Perfect.
joins us next, our Friday friend on 1620 The Zone.
Join 1620 The Zone in the fight against childhood cancer as we raise funds for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, where families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food. Let's cure childhood cancer. Become a partner in hope today by visiting 1620thezone.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
I'm here with Ed Leach, owner of Leach Camper Sales in Council Bluffs. And Ed, this is a big anniversary year for you.
We're celebrating 60 years in the business of making campers happy and have loved every minute of it. This year's RV season kicked off with a sports show last weekend, and we showed lots of people what's new in the world of RVs. But we're not done because we're extending those deals for those who didn't make it to the show. There are so many options, from folding trailers to motorhomes and everything in between. And with payments that are so affordable, you can find the perfect RV for your family and a perfect fit for your budget with comfortable, affordable monthly payments that won't break the bank.
And service after the sales, too.
Our parts department is the best in the Midwest, and if they don't have what you're looking for, if it's available, they'll find it. And our service techs all have experience and factory trained. All in all, with 60 years in the business, we become experts in what it takes to make campers happy.
You're easy to find. Take the South Expressway exit off I-80 in Council Bluffs. Go south 1/2 mile and west 1/2 mile, and there you are.
And don't forget, coffee's always on.
It's time to license your pets. If you're a pet owner in Omaha or Sarpy County, you're legally required to license by March 15th. This year, for your health and safety, we encourage you to stay home and license by mail, online at nehumanesociety.org, or you can drop your registration in the secure drop box in the entrance of our shelter. Be a responsible pet owner, obey the law, and avoid late fees. License your pet by March 15th. For more information, nehumanesociety.org.
You don't have to wait for the weekend for brunch. Delicious breakfast and lunch items are served daily. Get to Early Bird Brunch today in the Blackstone District and Shadow Lake Town Center. Early Bird, not your everyday brunch. Every day, Early Bird offers a variety of fun pancakes, eggs, benedicts, omelets, and beverages, including a full breakfast cocktail menu. Dine-in or carry-out is available at both Blackstone and Shadow Lake. For more menu info, go to earlybirdbrunch.com. Early Bird Brunch, where the early bird gets the pancake.
With only 3 days left during 42 Degrees annual winter sale, you better hurry down now to your nearest 42 Degree location and save. With pipes, it's buy one, get one at 50% off. Kratom starting at $19.99, CBDs from $12.99, and a whole lot more. And it's going on at the source, 42 Degrees. So don't wait until it's too late to save during our annual winter sale. With the most knowledgeable and friendliest staff, lots of inventory, don't you think it's time to check us out? Buy your mom's house.
This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Hello, I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. If you've been dissatisfied with your current banking situation, maybe it's time to move to a bank that works to deserve your business. We have an engaged staff that offers exceptional personalized service. We also have a great digital banking platform. We have 2 locations at 108th and Dodge or 202nd and Pacific. So if you're looking for a superior banking relationship, give us a call at 402-827-8100. We'll answer on the first ring. Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Member FDIC.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Chris Basnett joining us from the Lincoln Journal-Star, HuskerExtra.com.
Have you ever had a show that you loved to join, held them close to your heart like a commemorative coin? Let me tell you a story of my situation. I used to join the best show in the U.S. nation, but all of a sudden, some young'un came to be and stole all my thunder at 1620. His golf sure is a dope he wouldn't hesitate to lend. The boys at Unsportsmanlike Conduct told me he was just a friend. You got what I need.
He's just such a natural.
But you say Chris is just a friend. But you say Chris is just a friend. Oh, baby,
I think the sky's the limit.
You got what I need.
I don't know if you learn a lot of these things.
But you say Chris is just a friend. You say Chris is just a friend.
It was perfectly boring.
Chris Basnett, our Friday friend, what is up with you today?
What's up, fellas? I'm just hanging out, listening to a little baseball on the radio.
How about that first game taking 2 hours and 15 minutes? That's a sports writer's paradise.
I'd love if every baseball game started at 11 and every baseball game took 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Amen. College World, Jonathan, sign me up for the College World Series
Wow,
for that. That's heaven.
There's no way they would actually, all the trends these days in sports is to try to, make your sport shorter in time. If that became the trend, where a CWS game was only lasting 2 hours and 15 minutes, the NCAA would probably butt in and say, we have to do something to make this sport longer.
Yeah, we got to keep those fans around longer.
Exactly.
How can we make this longer?
Yeah.
How can we make it? Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way. Well, so I looked up some of the qualifications. We were talking last segment. Josh is saying next week we're all going to have to guess what seed Nebraska men's basketball will be in the tournament after they win the Big 12.
10.
And then we thought, well,
10.
okay, does that mean could they be in the first 4? I think technically they could be.
You do think they could be? I thought last segment you said you didn't think they could.
Now, this is from the authority on the subject, Wikipedia.
Perfect.
It consists of games between the teams holding the 4 lowest seeded bids and the 4 lowest seeded at-large bids. The 4 lowest seeded bids, meaning auto bids. So Nebraska, if they were perceived to be lower than, the other automatic qualifiers, I think
Technically.
theoretically could play in the first 4. Now, if I'm wrong on that,
Yeah.
again, I stand corrected.
I don't know. They'd probably be like a 4 seed, wouldn't they? Wear the white jerseys the first game.
That'd be awesome.
16 and 21.
I love the
21.
conversation on the pod this week, Baz, about the that Georgia team that had to like deal with tornadoes and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they, because we just looked it up to confirm, they were a 14 seed in the 2008 tournament. That was insane.
There you go. That's probably about where Nebraska would be. I think it's probably about a 14.
What best explains, in all seriousness now, their performances in the last 2 games? We've asked a variation of this question all week long, and it always boils down to some, form of, well, they're playing easier because their coach is returning, next season. Is it as easy as that, given, especially that the roster, the churn is probably still coming? So it's not like it's this group of freshmen or sophomores that are like, hey, let's play for coach because we're all going to be back again next year.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much of it that is. That doesn't hurt, certainly, but I don't think it's the overriding factor. And does it play a role? Maybe subconsciously more than consciously. I would guess, if I had to guess. Obviously, I'm not in the locker room, so I don't know that for sure. But I thought about it a lot. And, I think a lot of times the simplest answer is the right answer, and the simple thing is they just made a bunch of shots the last 2 games, and that makes the rest of the game easier. It makes it easier to play defense, makes it easier to play hard for your teammates, makes it easier to rebound, makes the head coach look a lot smarter. So, and Nebraska's done a better job offensively probably the last month and a half, especially, and now they're just starting to see some results from it. Obviously, the Penn State game, they were so far ahead, there wasn't any way they were going to blow it, but they had to work down the stretch against Ohio State on the road. They had the lead. Ohio State rallied, and I think this time it was just a matter of Nebraska closing the deal because they hit a couple more shots than the other team. So, yeah, I'm sure the announcement about Fred Hoiberg probably plays some type of role in some way, but I think it's less of a role than maybe Nebraska just finally seeing some payoff from playing pretty good offense.
How motivated do you think these guys are right now? I mean, sometimes it's easy to get caught up in your feelings when things aren't going well. But then when things suddenly take a dramatic and sudden turn, what kind of a team attitude-wise might we see in the Kohl Center on Sunday?
Yeah, I think they're in a pretty good spot. That's kind of the weird thing with this team. Like, even through everything, they've always, well, I shouldn't say always, they've for the most part seemed to be pretty good from the attitude point of view. Now, they've had games where they haven't played as hard as they need to and things like that. And that's obviously an attitude thing. But, it would have been easy for Fred to lose this team a while ago, if we're being honest, with the way they were playing. And they've continued to show up. They showed up in the Iowa game, even though they lost it. Iowa had about a 3-minute stretch there where they kind of put some distance between the 2 teams. Other than that, Nebraska was right there. And, it just makes this season as a whole so confounding because we've seen it all year, right? We've seen them play teams tough all year, and we've seen them just absolutely no-show in games all year. So the attitude seems to come and go with this team, but when it's there, they're generally competitive, and winning only is going to help them, I think. They've had plenty of games this year where they've had the right attitude and the right mental approach, and they've shown up and they've lost the game, whether it was close or whether it was by 10 points or whatever it may be. Now, you've shown up with the right attitude twice in a row, and you've won twice in a row on the road, including a ranked win. So there's finally seen some payoff for that. So, yeah, Sunday, I think you'll see a team in the right frame of mind. They kind of spoiled some things for Ohio State, and they can sit there and say, well, you know what, we can spoil some things for Wisconsin too and keep them from an outright Big Ten title if we go out and win this thing. So I think you'll see a team with the right attitude show up on Sunday.
What does all this mean, Baz, for the end of this year, but more importantly, going into next year?
Well, it's tough to say, and you guys touched on, because we don't know what the roster is going to look like next year. There's going to be so much roster turn. We don't know what Fred's quote unquote plan is going to look like, what the staff's going to look like, what the whole operation is going to look like, what the recruiting setup is going to look like. It's tough to say right now. Obviously, it's a lot easier to go into an off season when you've won a few more games than you've lost. There's no doubt about that. And that sends everybody out on a pretty good note in that way. But I think it's just so hard to tell without knowing exactly what the changes are that are going to be coming down the road here in the next few weeks. So I'm going to reserve judgment for now, but certainly, I think it helps that freshman class coming in next year to see that some things are working at the end of the year. whichever guys are coming back, certainly it gives them something to hold on to as they go into the offseason and prepare for next season. And other than that, it probably makes Fred Hoiberg feel a little better too. At the end of the day, that dude's a competitor, even though he doesn't always show it outwardly. He wants to win, so it probably does him some good too. But other than that, with so much potential change coming, it's hard to say just how this might affect the team going into the offseason.
Would it surprise you if the changes, whatever this plan was that Hoiberg presented to Trev Alberts, if the changes were small and subtle versus big and bold?
Not necessarily. I it's kind of like everything with this team. I think it could go either way. I think there's going to be significant changes. I think there probably has to be. And as Trev said, you can't keep doing the same thing because it hasn't worked. And look, the last 2 games don't erase the first 28 and the record Nebraska has in those games. So I think you'll see some significant changes, but what does that mean? I don't know yet. And so I at this point with Nebraska basketball, I'm hardly surprised by anything anymore. So I guess I should say I probably won't be surprised no matter what happens, but it's just so hard to say. But you have to think with the way this season had gone up until, this announcement by Trev that the changes we're going to see will probably be significant.
Baz, there was a quote that was making the rounds earlier this week as we switched to football from Mark Whipple that he had at the Lincoln Football Coaches Association clinic, where he said, one thing I really believe in, and it doesn't matter where you're at, get your best player the ball on offense, which then leads me to my question for you. Who is the best player on Nebraska's offense?
Well, it remains to be seen. I think you could put Xavier Betts in that category. Certainly from just a pure talent standpoint, I think Xavier Betts is in that category. Is Ramir Johnson, a guy that you look at, is one of those other running backs that's coming in that conversation. Is Omar Manning in that conversation? Is it Travis Vokalek? Is it one of the tight ends? I think that's something they still have to figure out. And it's something we probably won't even know until that first game comes around in August, because you have to think the spring game when it gets here is going to be pretty vanilla as far as what they put on film and things like that. So look, they probably have an idea, but they've only been practicing for a few days right now with this new coaching staff. So they probably don't really even know yet who their best guy is. So yeah, right now I think it could be any number of guys. And I think that's something that could go right up until the first game in the fall.
All right. How's baseball doing right now?
Baseball, it's currently the middle of the 3rd inning with UT Arlington. It is 0-0. Nebraska has 3 hits, hasn't converted anything yet, and Kyle Perry's done a nice job on the mound so far.
Baseball. Is this game? This game won't take 2 hours and 15 minutes, so it'll probably be a little bit longer.
If it does go 2:15, I'm going to rejoice. But yeah, I expect it to not to go 2:15.
Okay, awesome.
Well, we apologize, but during the course of this interview, we didn't give you the chance to join the chorus of tweets,
the loud chorus
that was spewed out instantaneously. Cam Jurgens apparently ran a 4.9140.
Big fella, moving.
Josh, of course,
He's
is very
journey.
excited about, measurement season, running time season.
Yeah, I saw they were talking about hand sizes yesterday. Baz, you got any takes on hands?
Get the rulers. You know me. I'm a huge hand size guy. That's what it's all about for me.
Nice.
Still, though, 4.91.
As many have pointed out, that's big fella.
What was I'm trying to remember. What was Austin Allen's time was like 4.7?
4.76 unofficially, I think, was his first one.
So basically, he's like a blink faster than Cam Jurgens.
He's a blink faster and 50 pounds heavier.
Wow.
Or a blink slower and 50 pounds.
Right.
Yeah. We should say. Yeah.
Wow. So basically what this means is if in the locker room, Austin Allen tried to give Cam Jurgens a wedgie and then run away, it would take him a couple of miles to get enough space based on those times. In other words, you can't tease Cam Jurgens because he'll get up and run and he'll catch you. There's no way you're getting away from him.
He's a large man anyway. Don't tease him anyway.
You don't want to get in the phone booth with Cam Jurgens and mess around. That's for sure.
I ain't doing that. Yeah. Your snaps were perfect all the time. That's what I would say to Cam.
Yeah. You're a beautiful man, Cam. And I love you.
You are the Dave Remington
of
this
those bad
era.
snaps, it was all Iowa's fault.
Yeah, let's blame the quarterback. He clapped wrong. It was his fault.
Yeah. Dang it.
All right, Baz, we'll let you get back to your baseballing and appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate the time.
He is Chris Basnett of the Lincoln Journal-Star. He is Kent Wolgamont of the Lincoln Journal-Star, and he will join us next as Nightmare Alley is the film that we are reviewing this week. I cannot wait for Nick to tell us all about it because it was his film this week.
His pick, so that means he sets
and
up
he
the
was
plot.
so nervous.
He explains it.
Because his last pick didn't go so well that he wanted to make good.
Yes, he did.
Did he make good? He will tell us himself next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Currently, no wrecks to avoid this afternoon. We're getting reports, though, of a little bit of a delay out on L Street for both directions right around the JFK. Also some slow going on Industrial Road for both directions around 144th. And then if you're headed west on 370, you can see a slight delay between 84th and 72nd. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Fernando's Omaha.
Come on, when was the last time you had your Fernando's fix? It doesn't get any better than lunch, dinner, carry-out, even catering from Fernando's. Get your Fernando's fix. 114th and Dodge, 75th and Pacific, and FernandosOmaha.com.
Email any of our shows anytime into the Equitable Bank inbox. At Equitable, we take banking personally. For me, John at 1620thezone.com. The Equitable Bank inbox from 1620 The Zone.
Whoever said the more the merrier sure wasn't in charge of hiring new employees, because the more unqualified candidates you have for a job, the more difficult your hiring can be. And that can make the process, well, not so merry for you. Thankfully, there's ZipRecruiter, which you can try right now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter's powerful technology finds the right candidates for your job. But unlike other sites, ZipRecruiter goes deeper. ZipRecruiter matches people with people, and you can personally invite your top choices to apply, because the perfect hire is more than a list of qualifications. It's an individual. ZipRecruiter makes hiring the right person easy, and that'll keep you and everyone else very merry.
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's right, free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
It's that time of year again. He's back. Old Man Winter has arrived. If you notice the cold air leaking through your home's windows, give J-Tech Construction a call for a free estimate. Keep winter cold outdoors where it belongs. Let the official exterior experts, J-Tech Construction, upgrade you to triple pane replacement windows and start saving money on your energy bills. The winter cold doesn't have to mean higher heating costs. Get all the details by going to yourexteriorexperts.com and get started.
It's the regular season finale. The Creighton Blue Jays versus the Seton Hall Pirates. Saturday coverage begins at noon. Tip-off at 1:30.
The Blue Jays are home on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic is coming to CHI Health Center, Omaha on March 11th, 12th, and 13th. Join us for puppy and dog training seminars, a youth village for kids, wild game cooking demonstrations, pollinator and wildlife habitat info, hunting gear, and more than 400 unique exhibitors. It's National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic the weekend of March 11th in Omaha, presented by Pheasants Forever, Quail Forever, and Federal Premium Ammunition. For tickets, go to pheasantfest.org.
You can join us every week for the Sharp and Betting podcast. It's Sharp and Betting. We got a podcast driven by our good friends at Woodhouse Auto Family.
Yeah, the cool thing about it is we'll get more in depth on a lot of your favorite topics, have a guest or two, and just might drop some nuggets of information that you've never heard before.
Wherever you get your podcasts, just look for Sharp and Betting. We got a podcast driven by Woodhouse Auto Family each Friday. You can find it on the Sharp and Betting show page on 1620thezone.com. At Sharp and Betting, we got a podcast.
Hey guys, it's the new year. Are you still struggling with erectile dysfunction? I've yet to meet anyone that enjoys timing those intimate moments around a pill. Well, now you don't have to. The advanced wave technology at Brookside Medical has been shown by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic to restore and even regrow blood vessels. It can improve circulation and eliminate erectile dysfunction. no pills, and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us in the next 2 minutes and you'll receive a consultation, assessment, and blood flow ultrasound free, plus a special gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. Trust me. This is a $600 value. Free to callers now. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Guys, get rid of your ED and get that spark back. Call Brookside Medical now to qualify. 402-671-7777.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Friday, the final day of the week. These are the voyages of the program Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Its ongoing mission to explore strange new movies, to seek out new bits and new edifications, to boldly go where no radio program has gone before.
Elkins Movie Club. It's Elkins Movie Club. Elkins Movie Club. It's Elkins Movie Club.
Yeah, if you were watching along in the graphic, Nick Grimm didn't even bother to watch his own film.
His own movie. He picked the movie. He didn't watch the movie.
This is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for the entire premise of the movie club.
Pathetic. So we have jokingly said it before, but we're going to do it. Nick is suspended for 1 week on picking a movie. So it'll be my turn next, John's turn, and then my turn again. Nick has lost a turn in the movie club.
Yeah.
In my defense.
There's no defending. Let's say hello to Kent Wolgamott. Hello, Kent.
Hello.
Kent, I can't believe that Nick, he was so worried because he picked such a bad film the time before, and then he didn't bother to watch this film, which was much better than the one he picked 3 weeks ago.
I wanted to watch it.
Nick, I know that you said you were busy this week, and you were doing things yesterday, you were doing things Wednesday, but I just want you to know you could technically watch it on Friday night or Saturday or Sunday. Like, there's a lot of days.
Okay, so Thursday.
No, we got to get to the movie.
It's my movie night is Thursday. My whole week got thrown out of whack. I didn't watch it any other day because I'm like, oh, I'll have time Thursday. I got home last night, totally spaced it off, went to bed like a responsible young man.
Yep.
Didn't realize it was Friday until this morning.
Yeah, the best part was because I asked Kent, I sent a DM to John and Nick this morning, and I said, hey, do we all have Showtime? Because I was going to pick a movie off of Showtime. And they do a 30-day free trial right now. I might end up picking that movie from Showtime. But Nick said, no, I don't. And then he goes, it's Friday. So we realized, oh no, movie club time. So here we are.
I feel horrible because I genuinely wanted to watch this. I was excited for it.
Well, you can still watch it. So I guess, Kent, we get to put you kind of back in your old role of being the guy
explaining the movie.
To explain the movie to us. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. I made up for it, Nick. I wasn't going to watch it again, and then I decided I should look at this for a couple reasons. I ended up watching the whole thing again. So I've now seen it 3 times. I think I got an idea of what happened.
We got it down now.
Thank you for watching it for me, Ken.
This is a film, importantly to know, that is based on a 1946 novel. It is not a remake of the 1947 movie. Guillermo del Toro and his writer went back to the original novel. And in fact, the last 40 minutes of it is almost taken word for word out of the book.
Oh.
So that's of interest. But it's the story of a carnival con man I guess, for the lack of a better way to
He's
put it,
definitely a con man.
who becomes a mentalist and tries to run a con, or is running his con in high society Chicago. That's the tiny outline of the story. But what it's really about is the transformation of this guy who goes from being this
Drifter, right?
hustler, you don't know precisely why, and turns into something that we don't want to know. I don't want to give away. But it's pretty horrific. This is not a happy ending kind of movie.
No.
Bradley Cooper plays the guy. He also was one of the producers of the movie.
Yep.
And this guy is, when the movie starts, you see him throwing a body into a hole, pit in the floor, and setting a house on fire.
Yes.
Eventually, you find out what that's about.
Yes.
He turns up in a carnival, gets hired to do day labor, and then
he's a carny.
Ingratiates himself into the carny world and learns how to be a hustler, a grifter, whatever you want to use, con artist in the old carnival tradition. And it's almost like two movies in one, because once that part of the movie is over, it jumps immediately months, years ahead,
2 years,
to where he is doing this mentalist act in Chicago with his wife and I guess she's a psychologist who is played by Kate Blanchett, tries to, I guess, expose him. And they end up in this really nasty little dance of, let's say, she's a femme fatale of the highest order, for lack of a better way to put it. It's Oscar nominated for cinematography for a reason, right? It's this dark view.
Looks gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It's a period piece. It's set in the 30s. And it got Oscar nominated for costumes, which ought to tell you the effectiveness there. And it's Oscar nominated for Best Picture. So that's the quickest description I can give of it.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good description.
So
too.
can't you there's like a dividing line basically for what the movie is, and you kind of went through that where you mentioned the jump in time. I'm curious as to which part of the movie you liked more, because I said it earlier, we were talking to Connor Happer in the crossover. I actually much more enjoyed the first half of the movie when they are doing the carnival stuff. They're in that iteration of the world, and the second half, it just kind of lost me. And I just did not like the second half of the movie as much. And I know John said something earlier, I think we're reversed, where you liked the second half of the movie more than you liked the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
So I wonder what you thought, Kent.
The first time I saw it, it felt like two movies that were trying to be crammed into one, and that it didn't exactly feel right. By the third time, it makes perfect sense. And part of the reason that the second half of it seems different is that it is not so inside the carnival and becomes more of a psychological thriller or whatever you want to call it. And even the visual changes a little, right? It goes from the circus and the tents and him having to sleep in the room where the circus manager keeps his vials full of, those bottles full of body parts and stuff, to these, her office is like a classic Art Deco, right, kind of thing. And I think that transition, you may like one a lot better than the other because they're so different.
Yeah, it is. It's completely different because the front half at the carnival. Of course, they're outdoors and
dirty,
just
grimy,
think of
nasty.
the dirty, grimy. But then it is contrast by the bright colors of the signage. His
outfits,
his girlfriend, wife, whatever, Molly, played by Rooney Mara. She's working the act where she's pretending to be electrocuted. And so there's a lot of bright, even though it's grimy and dirty, there's a lot of bright colors to it. Then you move to really more the film noir, the Art Deco, where, like you said, Kent, he's in high society Chicago. He's performing in front of rich people. He's wearing the tux. He's changed his voice. He's a lot more, he's almost like playing a,
he's truly playing a character.
Yeah, he's playing a character, this mentalist, but it's almost like he's trying to be Clark Gable,
Right. It's that Southern
mustache
thing away.
and the tuxedo and everything. And it's the same guy. He's just running a different scam now. And he's running the scam himself, he and his girlfriend. And then later with Cate Blanchett's character, the psychiatrist,
psychologist, some kind of
yeah. So it definitely does feel different, and in a way, I kind of liked the second half better than the first half because it became more psychological, and you started to kind of see, all right, this guy is definitely not his. I got the feeling anyway. His story is not going to end well.
Yeah, things are not going to work out good for him.
Things aren't going to work out for him. In the front half of the movie, he being almost said Bradley Cooper, was like the face. He was the good guy. He was the guy trying to get away from the carnival life, and do something different. And then he does, but he ends up being a worse person, even though he looks like more of a respectable member of society.
It's a good way to describe him.
I have a friend who is sort of obsessed by this movie. He works at Variety out in LA. And so I read what he'd written about it. And in the midst of doing this sort of Nightmare Alley dive, the most astounding thing I discovered that has very little to do with this movie, actually, but with the book and the 1947 movie. Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan, was obsessed with this movie. He named his daughter Xena, who is the Toni Collette character, the
tarot card reader.
What's that?
Was she the tarot card reader?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And
that
he named his daughter after that, had a giant poster of it in his house, and the daughter maintains that the whole Church of Satan thing that he put together was a scam inspired by the con artists, and that he was just in it to get as much money out of it as he could. Weird, huh?
Yeah.
Ken, did you think, now I guess you had some background with this, like you knew what it was. What did you think of the advertising for this movie? Because I remember, and we were joking about it off the air last week, like every movie that I went and saw at the end of 2021, whether it was like House of Gucci or Spider-Man, whatever it was, I kept seeing this trailer over and over and over. And I'm like, what? I don't know what this movie is. And then I watched it last night. I'm like, wow, this is way different than anything that I guess I was expecting. How did you think the advertising was for this movie?
Not good.
Yeah.
I think it didn't convey that, and it also sold the movie as more of almost conventional story.
Yes, definitely.
It turns out to be, and it didn't, to me, emphasize the carnival part of it. And I mean, as disturbing as all of that was, and as gritty, and the geek that bites the head off of chickens, all that stuff was real. That happened in the 30s, in the 20s. The guy who wrote the novel based all of that off of people he talked to right? Carnivals were not go to the state fair with your kids.
No,
There were parts
these were
of it
freak
that
shows.
were kids, but there were also parts of it with freak shows and strippers and gambling and it was, and this captures that, but you would have never known that from looking at the trailers and the advertising.
Yeah.
When did these carnivals, when did they just basically disappear? Because you don't see them anymore.
60s.
Okay. 'Cause I was going to say I can't remember anything from my youth. You remember county fairs and stuff like that. But,
Yeah,
but these types of carnivals where you have the people that purport to be the world's strongest man, but then they have the the two-headed man and these weird just the freak. I call it the freak show. People call it carnival. I call it the freak show.
Yeah.
And I don't remember these things growing up. So I was curious when those kind of fell out of favor.
60s into the 70s.
Okay.
Right. I remember enough of the early 70s that there were still some vestiges of the bearded lady and all that in the you could even even out at the state fair. But by the middle 70s, all that was gone.
Was there a reason why? Was it just the way society was changing?
Absolutely. And some of these things were pretty flat disgusting.
Oh yeah, I mean, like you talk about the chicken. I mean, how the movie opens up, it's like, what the hell is going on right now? And I was surprised, and I guess it makes sense, Ken, as you kind of explained what carnivals were at that time and what type of people went to them. But I was surprised by the audience that was there watching that. There was one woman I remember seeing who turned away, but everybody else was like, "Yeah, this is great." It's like, okay, so this is for a very specific type of audience that wants to see this type of stuff.
I don't know, but was it, Kent? I mean, wasn't this, the reason these things kind of flourished there for a time was everyone wanted to see the oddities, didn't they?
Right. And remember the time. There was the only mass medium at that time was the movies.
Movies and radio.
And radio, but you couldn't see the radio.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah,
so
good point, yeah.
if you wanted to see something that wasn't that Hays Code carefully censored films,
this is
where
you go.
Where you went.
Yeah. Now you watch.
There's the internet.
Yeah, there's the internet. But I like things to in the 80s, when people would go rent Faces of Death and some of these real, gritty
Hannibal Holocaust.
Yeah.
Cannibal Holocaust.
Where and that was kind of the equivalent of, everyone's morbid curiosities were satisfied that way in a more modern age. But back then it was these carnivals that would go from place to place and set up and draw people in and basically bilk you out of your money.
Mm-hmm.
And all the cons they ran, but mentalists were a big deal, spiritualists were a big deal then, and all that's kind of gone away too,
Yeah. And by the way, by mentalists, these are people who, would try to read your mind.
Fortune tellers, mind
fortune
readers,
tellers, stuff like that.
kind of things.
And that was interesting how they kind of, not to give too much away, but just, I guess, the process of how one does that and how you learn how to do that. Very, look, these people were, they were doing something that's not real, but the process of doing it's like, man, you had to be really smart and you had to study a lot. And so that was pretty interesting.
And the first movie and the book were the first time that those things sort of got exposed.
Interesting.
So the book was kind of the Upton Sinclair, what was the jungle
of the carnival
scene. Okay.
And then a movie was made the year after the book came out, but it was pretty heavily redacted from what the book really was, right? Because you couldn't make a movie. Imagine trying to make this movie in 1947. Not going to happen, right?
No, it would have been sanitized. It would have been, yeah.
And in fact, without giving anything away, the 1947 movie, they had to put a new ending on it that wasn't in the book to make it a somewhat, quote, happy ending.
Wow, I can't even think of what that would be, because I was just going to ask.
I'm going to ask you, kid, to
what did
text me off the air about that. I'd like to know what it was.
Yeah, what did you think of the ending? I loved the ending.
Yeah, it's the perfect way, I thought.
Yeah, I think it's the only way it could.
I loved the ending because as soon as I don't want to give
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
away. I
let's
don't
not
want to
say-
give
let's not
anything
say
away, but as soon as the new carnival owner or whoever the said
It's
what
the
he
new
said,
carnival owner. A
basically,
new carnival owner shows up and
yeah, as soon as he offers him a job, it's like, I know where this is going.
Mhm.
I know where this is going. But I enjoy, like I said, I enjoyed it. Nightmare Alley. It is long. I mean, it's 2.5 hours long,
Mhm.
but it's a beautifully shot. The visuals are very good. I like both of the extremes of the visuals, the front half and the back half. So yeah, it pops off the screen, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, to me, feel as long because it feels like two movies in one.
Yeah, it does.
I did move at a good.
And when I was watching it last night, I stopped it when it flipped over just to see the time, whether the front was longer than the back, the first half. It literally stops dead in the middle. I mean, it's within a minute of being half.
Kent, before we get to the pick for the next week, Aaron emails in. He says, I know you went and I didn't catch if you liked it. Did L. Kent see the Batman? What did you all think? Was it more like the Christian Bale Batmans or the Affleck Batman? Thanks, Aaron and Papillion. You have had a chance to see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I said this on the air earlier. I thought the first 90 minutes are perhaps some of the best Batman ever. It is a 3-hour movie, though, so there's still 90 more minutes to go. I really, really did enjoy it. I would definitely cut it down. I thought that it could have been cut down. I thought that the Riddler was a very good villain for our modern times, and I thought that I loved the look of Gotham. I thought that it captured what I always imagined Gotham City to look like in my mind. I really enjoyed it, but it is 3 hours, so you got to carve out quite a bit of time.
And the two issues that I had with it, to answer the question, it's way more Christian Bale Batman than it is Ben Affleck Batman. I mean, not not just the length, but it really drooped about, what would you say, a little past halfway through. It was like, it just kind of lost its energy, and it didn't get it back until
late,
the last 40 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, and so I think Yeah, you probably have about 45 minutes to an hour where it just meanders a little bit. I'll also say this, Kent. This is as close to an R rating for a Batman movie as you will ever see. There were times where I'm like, I cannot believe this is only PG-13.
Does he get naked?
He does not get naked. I thought, Kent, the action scenes were awesome. And I thought the use of light or lack thereof was better than any of them since Batman Begins back in 2005.
And some people have really hated that lack of light.
Interesting. I thought it added to the vibe. I really did. I thought it added a lot to it because it made, Batman, hiding in the shadows and all that type of stuff really, really good.
And I agree. I was surprised. I knew it was a PG-13 movie, but when I watched it, I'm like, they must have taken this all the way to the edge, submitted it for rating, and then, okay, we got to cut this little part, this little part, this little part to keep PG-13, because it's pretty violent and intense, really.
Yeah, it's very, very gnarly.
Yeah.
Nick, any thoughts on your movie?
I like Willem Dafoe.
There you go.
Willem Dafoe was the
he was the original Carney owner. Yeah,
the circus of the Carney circus owner in the first half. That was kind of an all-star kind of cast. David Strathairn as the guy who teaches him about the con. Toni Collette, Kate Blanchett. Rooney Mara. I mean, that's
a good cast.
really good cast.
It was. It was. It is Nightmare Alley. It is streaming now on HBO Max.
All right, I'm going to go with the movie that I actually was thinking of when I asked this morning if people had Showtime, because I just checked on their website. They have a 30-day free trial. You don't have to put in I don't think you have to put in credit card information. Maybe you do. I don't know. But 30-day free trial. So we're going to be good for, I know, the next week. Pulp Fiction. John's never seen Pulp Fiction. I haven't seen it in a while. Have you seen Pulp Fiction,
I love
Nick?
Pulp Fiction.
Great. Pulp Fiction it is.
I don't even have to watch it. I've watched this movie so many times.
I can't wait to rewatch it.
How can you be existent at this time and not have seen Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, John, how can you exist?
I just never did.
This is one of the first R-rated movies I snuck myself. My dad had it on VHS, and I was like 9.
When it's been on TV, I've seen bits and pieces. But when did this come out?
94.
See, that coincided with a time in my life
the dark
where
period
I
for
did
John.
not go to movies.
My
dad saw it
From
in theaters.
basically 90 to really for a decade. I can think of maybe 2 or 3 movies I saw in the theater in the 90s.
Wow.
That was just in my dark period of, movies.
I think you'll like Pulp Fiction a lot.
It's awesome.
It's so good.
I'm sure
So good.
I know I will because I've seen bits and pieces enough to know I will.
And your assignment is to learn the John Travolta / Uma Thurman dance and demonstrate.
Yes. Awesome.
Then Pulp Fiction it is.
30-day free trial. They should pay me how much I've been because then after you watch this, watch Yellow Jackets. Watch season 1 of Yellow Jackets.
No, I am not watching your
so good.
Your gory
cannibalism. Maybe.
This is going to be a weird question to ask after that, Josh. When we talk about Pulp Fiction, can we get some double quarter pounders?
Oh, the Royale with cheese?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Awesome.
All right, Kent, we'll have a great weekend. Thanks. And we'll reconvene hopefully next Friday. I mean, it depends on Creighton's schedule.
Yeah, I guess Kent, you might be talking to Stephen M. Sipple, unless he backs out on me again. You might be talking to Sipple a week from today. So I'll have to tell him to watch Pulp Fiction.
I was going to say, are you going to make Sipple watch? This will be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Has Sip seen?
Are the Blue Jays going to be playing basketball next Friday?
If they win on Thursday, they will be playing on Friday.
Okay.
Next Thursday.
Yes.
At the Big East tournament. Yeah.
And I will be at the Pinnacle Bank Arena tomorrow.
Are you covering wrestling?
I'm covering beer, baby.
Oh, you're doing the sidebar on the beer sales.
That's the much better thing to write about. Then you don't have to watch boring wrestling.
Yeah, I'm on the beer beat.
That's awesome.
Can you give Stibbs a lift? Because Stibbs is our correspondent for college wrestling. He needs a lift. All right, Kent, well, enjoy the beer and the wrestling tomorrow.
Will do.
There he is, Kent Waldemont
Kent.
of the Lincoln Journal-Star. For some reason, his video was frozen the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
At least it was to us. I'm assuming it was to the
on the.
viewers.
I actually went to when I tweeted out the link earlier. It was just a black screen.
Oh, so it wasn't just a black screen. So on my end, it was just a black screen.
Yeah. So on actual YouTube, it was just a black screen. But on us, it was he was frozen and he looked like it was just like the very top of his head.
Well, it looked like an old person.
He
like an old person trying to look over the steering wheel.
Yeah. So the little preview we have of the green room, it was like a frozen picture of him, and then the actual thing on the screen was black. I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pulp Fiction next week in the movie club right here on 1620 The Zone.
And don't forget, this hour, go on to 1620 The Zone TV.
The only way to qualify for our Tournament of Great Significance watch party is to be watching 1620 The Zone TV.
YouTube,
we will
Twitter,
flash a graphic.
Mm-hmm.
We will flash a graphic. And the first caller to 402-951-1620 gets to be our qualifier for the drawing for the one of 2 watch parties to the Tournament of Great Significance at Horseshoe Casino in Council Bluffs with free food and drink provided by my friends at Brookside Medical. Because at Brookside Medical, it is about getting you up for the weekend. Don't depend on the pill, guys. Because you don't want to time those moments when you want to be up. to the taking of a pill. How can Brookside do this, you ask? I can tell you. The advanced wave technology at Brookside, shown by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, to restore and regrow blood vessels, that improves the blood flow and restores the up. And if you call now, 402-671-7777, tell them you heard this spot on the zone, you can get a free consultation and blood flow ultrasound. And then you can start the results that are non-surgical, non-invasive. They're proven. They work. And you don't have to worry about medicine anymore. If you have ED issues, this is the phone number to call. 402-671-7777. Tell them John at the Zone sent you. 402-671-7777 for Brookside Medical.
The Connor Happer Show.
You're my kind of guy. And I have to say, how long have you had your show here?
It's been 2 full months now. Yeah, we're
Okay.
into month 3.
Well, I listen to it, I enjoy it, and it's a damn pleasure to be here. So let's go.
Thanks,
What do
Tom.
you got?
That's awesome. I appreciate that. The Tom Chattel endorsement. That should be a thing.
Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly cloudy, warm, and gusty for your Friday afternoon, with highs today into the upper 60s and lower 70s, with southerly wind gusts possible up to 35 miles an hour. Heading into tonight, keeping mostly cloudy skies and breezy winds with us. Lows expected into the lower 50s with a chance for isolated, non-severe thunderstorms. Heading into your Saturday, temperatures up near 70 with a chance for strong to severe storms in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up, getting reports of a shovel in the road on eastbound Highway 370 at the JFK, so be ready for delays through there. Also getting reports of some slow going on L Street for both directions around 90th, and the same goes out on Industrial Road for both directions around 144th. I'm Mike Neville.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery.
Someone just won a beautiful new blue truck playing Trucks and Bucks 2022. So there's only 7 trucks left. Better slide into a Nebraska Lottery retailer, buy a ticket, and play today. Top prize odds, 1 in 336,000.
Baseball season is coming for the UNO Mavericks. Season tickets at Tal Anderson Field are on sale now, and plans start at just $265. Go to omavs.com/ticks or call 402-554-6287 to get your tickets now.
Here are your 3 bacon on bacon quarter-pound double cheeseburgers. Enjoy your Sonic.
Dang, son, this bacon is just hanging out of this burger, dog.
That nice, tangy smoked sauce.
The bacon on this burger is just asking me to eat it.
You should oblige.
Bring home the bacon with a Sonic Bacon on Bacon quarter-pound double cheeseburger, stacked with 4 slices of crispy bacon and covered in tangy smoked sauce. Try one half price in the app for a limited time only at Sonic. Exclusions apply. See app for details. Mobile ordering available at select locations.
The world's changed. Things you used to have to leave the house to do can now be done from home, and that includes straighter, whiter teeth. Bite is an invisible teeth aligner that's all the rage. Why? Well, because Bite is a fraction of the price of braces. I'm talking thousands less. Listen, crooked teeth are no joke, and Bite makes custom treatment plans directed by dentists and is serious about making your smile shine. So go to Bite.com now to order an at-home impression kit to get started. Be happy, be confident, be you. With Bite. BYTE.
AmeriCorps programs and members are making a huge impact in Nebraska communities near you, addressing critical issues like education, conservation, and even food insecurity. Because of AmeriCorps, the Lead for Nebraska program is fighting brain drain in Nebraska's rural communities by expanding access to broadband services and digital literacy. Learn about AmeriCorps programs serving communities in your region by visiting serve.nebraska.gov. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's the postseason for Omaha men's basketball. It's a new life for the Mavs as they travel to Sioux Falls, South Dakota in the Summit League tournament to take on the number 1 seeded South Dakota State Jackrabbits. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Sharp. Join me on Saturday night on 1620 The Zone, 5:30 with the pregame. Tip-off 6 o'clock for the Mavs and the Jacks.
You're in the driver's seat with Woodhouse.
Shop, finance, and buy your next vehicle your way. From the comfort of your home at woodhouse.com, one of our 19 dealerships, or a combination of both. It's that easy. Plus, offering the most wanted new makes and leading pre-owned models, your next vehicle is on the lot or on its way. Shop confidently with the Woodhouse team today. Serving customers and communities since 1975. This is Woodhouse.
Here's this week's Maverick Minute. Maverick baseball left USC last weekend without a win, but put up a fight against the former national power, taking them to 12 innings on Friday and leading for a majority of the game on Sunday. Omaha hockey split with number 3 Denver at home last weekend. They have their final regular season series this weekend against number 7 North Dakota. And that's your Maverick Minute on your home for the Mavs, 1620 The Zone, 1180 The Zone, and News Talk 1290.
Dingman's Collision Center. We would rather be the best than apologize for anything less.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Rooferees. This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
The way we run a program is tried and true. We know how to build programs.
On 1620 The Zone.
Some responses. First of all, there's a lot of excitement for Pulp Fiction. Tweeting from 30,000 feet says, top 5 of best films ever for sure. I've seen that film 200 times. Michael says, make John dip his fries in mayo for Pulp Fiction Friday.
No.
Friesies and mayo.
Friesies
that ain't
in
happening.
mayo.
What? Is there fries and mayo in this?
You'll have to watch and find out.
No, I need to know now because I'll refuse to watch it if there is. I refuse to watch anything that promotes such heinous activity.
Greg and Lincoln says, I was at Purdue when Pulp Fiction came out. One of our buddies was thoroughly confused by the timeline, which isn't that tough to follow. We gave him a pretty hard time. Yeah, people forget that Pulp Fiction is non-linear storytelling.
It sure is.
And then I have a couple carnival responses, but Michael says, LOL, Nick didn't even have time to watch his own movie choice, and then some emojis. And he says, I wonder how much time he had to dedicate to video games this past week.
Again, Thursdays are my dedicated movie nights. I got thrown out of whack this week from a last-minute rescheduling, and I didn't even know it was Friday until this morning. I'm going to be honest.
Sad.
It's called a calendar.
It really is. Okay, some carnival responses. Lance says, around 1983, I remember going to the Nebraska State Fair in Lincoln, and we went into the world's smallest person tent. It was sad. Just a dwarf/little person sitting on a table, and we were within arm's reach of him. We made eye contact, and I felt sorry for him. There were other quote-unquote freak show people, but I only remember that one.
Yeah.
I don't see, like, that's why they disappear, because it's I don't know, it's just uncomfortable.
It's weird and
for all
exploitive.
parties. That's the best way
It's
to put it.
demeaning.
Demeaning.
It's demeaning to the people involved. If anyone's ever seen The Elephant Man,
And I never have.
that's a good movie.
Streaming anywhere?
They turn, the Elephant Man becomes this carnival sideshow thing, which is why
they're people.
Which is why, oh my God, I forgot the actor's name.
It was based off a real dude, wasn't it?
Yes, John Merrick was a real man.
Yeah.
And
John Hurt.
Joshua, like
not
this.
John Hurt.
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins's character befriends him, and it gets him out of the freak show circuit so that he can study him and try to figure out what went wrong.
Yeah, Joshua,
it's
like
a
this.
very good movie. I
I
remember watching that at a young age. It was just like, wow, it tells a really good story.
I haven't seen the movie, but I listened to a podcast at normal speed that explained his whole story.
The Elephant Man story?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So, and then one more. This was from Steve. He says, I remember there being a freak show at the Nebraska State Fair when I was younger, probably into the late 70s, maybe early 80s. So those responses were about the timeline of when a lot of these things.
Yeah.
disappeared.
I mean, and that's, they kind of, some of the carny stuff morphed into county fairs and state fairs. But, this particular carnival in this film, this was all they did was just it was basically an oddity circuit. I call it the freak show. But anyway, I think I'll save this.
Okay.
But we do have a video we need to play.
Oh.
And perhaps we need to have another conversation with our producer about what he's been doing with himself recently.
Oh, Nick.
I don't know where this is going, but I don't like it.
Well, I don't like it. I'm offended and hurt.
Oh,
and thus I'm offended and hurt.
Oh, it
too.
takes a lot to offend and hurt, John.
It really does.
It
John's not
does.
offended by anything.
I'm not offended by anything.
Yeah.
but I was definitely taken aback by this. That coming up. Also, we had a conversation yesterday about possible changes in rules for college football to limit the amount of exposures. Well, apparently that whole thing is being put on pause. We'll explain when we continue with more of Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone.
1620 The Zone is easy to hear anywhere, on air, online, and on social media. Wherever you are, we are. 1620 The Zone.
Creighton Sports Update. Creighton baseball hosts its home opening series against St. Thomas this weekend. The series starts tonight at 6:30 p.m. at Charles Schwab Field. The Blue Jay men's basketball team closes out the regular season with a game against Seton Hall tomorrow at 1:30. Get your tickets today by going to Ticketmaster.com, gocreighton.com/tickets, or at the Creighton Ticket Office located at the Ryan Athletics Center.
1620 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Excuse me, Carol?
Hey, Dale. You finished that report I asked for?
Oh, yeah, about that. I didn't get a chance to do it.
No worries. You've been so busy.
Really?
Of course. Dale, you're our hardest worker. You should take an extra week of vacation.
Are you firing me?
No, I promise. Just giving you the break you deserve.
Wow. Thanks, boss. You sure you're not firing me?
Actually, I'm going to promote you. But first, take a week off on the company's dime.
Sometimes things just get better. Like AT&T. We've invested more than $150 million to grow our wireless network coverage to over 99% of Nebraska. So you can talk, text, and share in more places than ever. Visit att.com/Nebraska and learn how to get a free smartphone when you switch to AT&T. Coverage not available everywhere. Over 99% coverage based on third-party data. Network investments based on 2018 through 2020 expenditure.
National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic is coming to CHI Health Center, Omaha, on March 11th, 12th, and 13th. Join us for puppy and dog training seminars, a youth village for kids, wild game cooking demonstrations, pollinator and wildlife habitat info, hunting gear, and more than 400 unique exhibitors. It's National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic the weekend of March 11th in Omaha, presented by Pheasants Forever, Quail Forever, and Federal Premium Ammunition. For tickets, go to pheasantfest.org.
Confession. The only thing I love more than spring itself are the savings I just got at Kohl's. I'm talking 50% off new patio furniture, cute and comfy sandals for under $35, and long sleeve tops for just $11.99. Not only did I earn Kohl's cash, but because I'm a Kohl's Rewards member, I got an extra 25% off too. I mean, extra savings and extra sunlight. Hello, spring. Select styles, 25% Kohl's Rewards offer ends March 6th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Wanna bet? Las Vegas is miles away. The sportsbook at Ameristar Council Bluffs is much closer. We're your 50-yard line. Behind home plate. Center court ticket. To real-time odds and over-unders. We've got all the action and the best odds in town. So grab the crew and place all your bets on all your favorite teams at the Sportsbook at Ameristar Council Bluffs.
Must be at least 21. Terms subject to change. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. Sports betting is legal in Iowa and not Nebraska.
It's what you need. 1620 The Zone at 1620thezone.com. 1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Stop typing and focus on your job, John. No one cares about your screenshots. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your screenshot. We're on the radio, not on Twitter. Live on the radio, John.
He says the guy who is constantly typing on his damn computer while the show is going on.
Well, okay, I'm a good multitasker. People forget.
I'm looking forward to our Greta movie next week.
Damn it!
I was wondering why you were peeking over here.
Oh, because I was like, I wonder if John saw.
I saw it.
Yeah, John saw.
I saw it.
Man,
So yesterday, Dennis Dodd, we were telling you that Dennis Dodd of CBS Sports was reporting that college football has been looking at potential changes to the timing rules of college football to limit the number of exposures in college football. Exposures meaning number of potential times players hit and get hit. Not just plays, but exposures.
And that so plays that are nullified because of offsetting penalty.
Right. Those don't count in the scorebook as plays, but it is in an exposure, just like special teams. Special teams plays like PATs and 2-point conversions and kickoffs, and those don't count in the playbook as plays. So they were trying to look holistically over the last decade or so about the number of exposures. And a couple of the ideas that were brought out were changing the timing rules so that clock would no longer stop on first downs, similar to the NFL. Another one was treating incomplete passes like runs out of bounds. Right now, if you run out of bounds, the clock stops, but as soon as the official gives the signal for the ball is in play, or that's not the right term, the ready for play, which is when the play clock starts, that would also start the game clock, and they're looking to reduce the number of exposures.
Jordan wants to know, do streakers count as exposures?
Yes.
Okay, so they're trying to tamp down on those.
But sounds like as quickly as this story got, oxygen and got into the ether, maybe they're not going to do this after all.
Okay. Yeah, a tweet from Dennis Dodd. NCAA Rules Committee took no action on reducing the number of exposures, and then in parentheses, he put plays. After recommendation from SEC football players, he writes SEC football players and FBS commissioners to look into it. And here's a quote from David Shaw.
Probably commissioners.
Okay. We've got, from SEC football players and commissioners and FBS commissioners? I don't know. Either way, we've gotten used to the tempo of the game. The balance here is to make the game as safe as possible. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised. I thought that as we discussed yesterday, incomplete passes, that being a ready for play situation, I thought that was kind of silly.
Mm-hmm.
I am stunned, though, that they did not decide to nix the clock stopping after first downs. I thought that was an easy fix that would have. Look, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I don't know how much time that would take off of a game, but I imagine it would take off a lot. Just knowing how many first downs, especially in some of these Big 12 games, or I guess used to. Big 12 was a defensive conference last year, but that idea of that type of football. So I guess I'm a little surprised that that's what they decided to.
Yeah, I am too. So
I wonder, he mentions there, making the game as safe as possible. Not to use the tired, comparison again, but I loved what you said a few years ago about like NASCAR, just car racing in general. There's only so much you can do, to make it safer, because inherently
it's a dangerous sport.
And football, I think, is the same. Football's obviously the same. I don't know what more you can really legislate out of the game before it ceases to be football. You could go with flag football, but that's not football. That's not the football that we are watching. You can't take the hits out of the line of scrimmage. So I don't know what much more they can do really to kind of legislate out of the game. So I'm interested, I guess, to see.
I know Josh will be excited about this. Nick, bring up the audio, but Cam Jurgens, as we told you a few minutes ago,
he
ran a 4.9140. It's the guy who weighs 306 pounds, according to his combine testing. Apparently, the NFL Network has done some kind of a side-by-side comparing the speed of Cam Jurgens to the speed of Ndamukong Suh.
Oh, this is fun.
So let's hit the video here and see what it looks like.
Somebody who's had a lot of beefs in the NFL since coming off of campus. Ndamukong Suh. There we
He's
go.
rolling.
And it is Cam Jurgens taking it down.
Wow. Suh ran a 5.09. And Jurgens ran a 4.91. And for those of you who weren't able to see it, it was one of those ghosting visuals where they run the two guys side by side, but it shows both guys and
like what they have in Mario Kart.
Yeah,
like what they have in Mario Kart.
Basically, Sue was about a stride and a half behind Cam Jurgens in the 40.
I think that I would have been surprised if you would have asked me before we watched the video. If you would have told me who's faster, I think I would have guessed that Ndamukong Suh would have been faster.
But I'm gonna play this again. Watch the running styles.
Somebody who's had a lot of beefs in the NFL since coming off of campus. Ndamukong Suh. There we
He's
go.
rolling.
And it is Cam Jurgens taking it down.
Jurgens has a more fluid stride.
A much better running stride. Much better running stride.
And Sue wasn't 307. Sue was smaller.
Yeah, what was Ndamukong Suh
in his combine?
Let's see.
I would guess 282.
I wonder where I can even find that. I mean, I guess I'll just search combine weight. It says he was 307.
Sue
says he was 307. Yeah, that was his.
But watching that video, and that maybe it's the clothing, whatever.
Yeah,
Jurgens looked bigger.
Yeah,
looked a little broader in the chest, but it might be just different. Still, though, that's pretty impressive.
Seriously, man.
What grade would you give that form? Since you're a local running expert,
that's pretty good form for Cam.
Okay, now let's correct this because Josh doesn't run; he jogs. Those guys were actually running for speed. Josh is not running for speed.
I'll be honest, Nick. I don't know if I have good form. Whenever I see myself run, it's always the very end of a race.
You run like this, where your arms and
no, I think I
you got a windmill.
Do
you do the windmill when you run?
You got to push the air.
My shoulders
if I push the air, I go faster.
I would kick your guys' ass up and down the street. I think my shoulders are too high.
Do you put flames on your shoes to make you run faster?
No. Or tassels? Do you have tassels?
It gives you get an extra 10 horsepower with flames.
You know what I do though? I wear very bright clothing. I love running in like yellow shoes and bright blue, like all sorts. Like one of my friends.
So you're more of an open target for.
One of my friends said you couldn't murder someone and get away with it. And I said, "What are you trying to do?" Because he wears like black and gray when he runs. I'm like, "You trying to murder someone out there, dude?" I'm not. Anti-murder.
No, he's trying to get away with it. Listen.
Well, that's pretty impressive there, Cam Jurgens. All right, while we're on the subject of videos, this took place earlier this week at the Lincoln City Council, Lincoln, Nebraska. City Council. Here it is.
One more thing. I'm sorry, I won't take up too much of your time. To sit in and lead by an example, this is how we do it.
No. Inspector Parker.
Free the herb, baby. Rastafari, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, the Black Messiah.
So the guy literally during open mic closes whatever his spiel was by pulling out a joint and lighting it up. And you can hear the city council, no. And then they brought in the.
I appreciate the ones that laughed.
They brought in the bailiff.
Yeah, me too.
That was good.
I was disgusted by them. That's an illegal act. You don't laugh at illegal
I saw
things.
that they didn't even like book him. He's like free to go.
Well, it's not criminalized in Nebraska, is it? Like under a certain amount, like a joint's not going to get you in trouble.
That's pretty.
What about the smoking ban?
Well, that might be. I don't know. Does the smoking ban count for marijuana, or is it just nicotine?
Triggered Ryan wants to know what was Nick doing at a Lincoln City Council.
Well, I'm glad you asked that because here's a still shot of the Rastafarian in question.
My black ball hat doesn't look exactly like
My goodness, the beard, man. It's pretty damn close.
Okay.
Okay. Side by side, Nick.
John.
Now we know why Nick couldn't watch Nightmare Alley. He was too
busy smoking the ganja.
Testifying at the Lincoln City Council and smoking the weed.
Please tweet out that picture.
I will.
We need to send that picture out. I think we should, Nick. See, I thought when you said Nick was doing something earlier, I was waiting to find out what Shane had been up to.
I was waiting for him to put the side by side of the picture of Shane this morning. That's what I was expecting.
Indeed, I was.
I mean,
city council meetings just sound like a ball of.
Lincoln has the best city council meetings.
I think everybody has.
No, they don't. They allow weed smokers in there.
Wow, weed smokers. Can you imagine such a person? Matt points out
they're disgusting. I bet. Now, be honest.
Yeah,
this guy looks like you could probably smell him from a block away.
Oh, absolutely.
With the military
You
fatigues.
hang out with him,
you know
I can
how
smell
much,
the weed.
You know how much of that weed smoke is baked into those clothes?
Mildew, ozone, and weed.
Oh, yeah.
Or a tweet, JTech Instructions on Twitter feed from Matt with a great point. He says, it's well known that the brighter the shoes, the faster they go. It's science.
Yeah,
Indeed.
no, you get an extra 4 horsepower.
That's why I wear the yellow shoes when I run. Greg and Lincoln says, local running expert. Is Whitney coming on the show? Sorry, Josh, just ribbing. Happy birthday to our friend Chris Whitney.
Congratulations.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, fellow
that's
runner
awesome.
Chris Whitney. Indeed.
We'll post the side-by-side photo on our
you don't
JTech
have
Construction Zone Twitter feed.
I think we do, though, Nick. I think
mean,
we
this
do.
is scary how much Weed Guy looks exactly like
Weed Guy and I look nothing alike.
You got glasses?
We have the same glasses.
The same glasses,
same beard.
His beard is puffier and bigger and better than mine.
Well, hard to argue with that, Nick.
I can't. My beard's not good.
But is his puffy better than yours?
Well, no, because mine's a cool band. His might be too. I'm not sure what his is.
Well, friends, Nick probably doesn't need to worry about it, and neither does Ganja Smoker needs to worry about ED, but some of us do. And if you do, you see the ads all the time for the little blue pill, and it works. It does. It's been a miracle of modern medicine. But what the ads don't show you is the side effects or the fact that you have to time every intimate moment to the taking of a pill. Well, with the advanced wave technology at Brookside Medical, which has been shown by Cambridge University to restore and regrow blood vessels, that helps improve blood flow and restore normal erectile function. You can fix the ED problem without having to take pills anymore, and then works when you need it to. Call now, 402-671-7777, and Brookside can hook you up with a free consultation and a blood flow ultrasound to get you on the road to recovery. Fix your ED problems with a non-invasive, non-surgical solution with non-medication. The advanced wave technology available right now here in Omaha at Brookside Medical Clinic. Call them today, 402-671-7777.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up, getting reports of a shovel in the road on eastbound Highway 370 at the JFK, so be ready for delays through there. Also getting reports of some slow going on L Street for both directions around 90th, and the same goes out on Industrial Road for both directions around 144th. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Nebraska Loves Public Schools.
Discover how one Nebraska school uses an outdoor classroom to connect students to their culture and community in a new I Love Public Schools film. Watch online at iloveps.org.
Email Unsportsmanlike Conduct on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox with whatever is on your mind, from your hot takes to what you think is one. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Happy Monday, everybody. Yay!
Sure glad the weekend is over.
I know. Nothing's better than a new work week. Yay!
The proceeding was a dramatization, but it could happen now that a Monday night Powerball drawing has been added. Along with the Wednesday and Saturday night drawings, now you can also win Monday Night Millions. Who knows? It may change everyone's view of Monday.
Let's have a 3-hour Monday meeting. Yay!
Powerball from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
If I won one of the 8 new trucks the Nebraska Lottery is giving away in Trucks and Bucks 2022, I'd be off-roading all the time through muddy riverbeds, across dusty prairies. I'd treat that truck like a tank. I'd be merciless.
Can I ride along?
Only if you wear shoe covers to protect the carpeting, promise not to eat or drink anything inside the cab, and polish the dashboard when you leave.
Trucks and Bucks is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
We all want the very best for our kids. Their dreams, their health, their future. Nothing is more important. At Children's, we believe every child and family deserves the very best. The best outcomes and experiences. The safest, highest quality pediatric care. And the very best team, all together in an environment of excellence. That's the future of pediatric medicine. Children's Hospital and Medical Center, the very best for kids. Visit children'somaha.org to learn more.
It's the regular season finale. The Creighton Blue Jays versus the Seton Hall Pirates. Saturday coverage begins at noon. Tip-off at 1:30.
The Blue Jays are home on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
Listen to Woodhouse Auto Family Blue Jay Overtime, the Creighton men's basketball postgame show on 1620 The Zone, and live from the downtown Addie Sports Bar and Grill on 10th Street right after every home game, exclusively on your home for Creighton Blue Jays, 1620 The Zone.
National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic is coming to CHI Health Center, Omaha, on March 11th, 12th, and 13th. Join us for puppy and dog training seminars, a youth village for kids, wild game cooking demonstrations, pollinator and wildlife habitat info, hunting gear, and more than 400 unique exhibitors. It's National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic the weekend of March 11th in Omaha, presented by Pheasants Forever, Quail Forever, and Federal Premium Ammunition. For tickets, go to pheasantfest.org.
Your Omaha hockey team is home this weekend for the final regular season outing to take on rival North Dakota. Tonight's pregame is at 6:30 with puck drop at 7:07. It's UNO versus North Dakota on your home for Mavericks hockey, 1180 The Zone.
At Baker's, fresh groceries are our thing, so we check your delivery order for freshness at every step from farm to store and pick and pack every veggie in your free pickup order with care because we treat your food the way we'd want ours to be treated. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
Get more ways to save at the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Just buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with card. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Throw. It would be nice to have a 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 throw from your mom.
I drank beer with my friends. Sometimes I had too many beers. I liked beer. I still like beer. Had beers, have some beers. One beer, drink beer, drinks beer, drank beer, and drinking beer.
Upstairs, downstairs, where was it? I don't know, but I had one beer.
Friday!
We probably have Beer Center each week. Ralph Club, biggest contributor.
Beer. I like beer. I don't know if you like Beer Center or not. What do you like to drink?
Next
I had one beer. Friday. Yeehaw!
Hanging out and having some beers with friends, which I gladly do and which I fully embrace.
Well, you think it was... Nope, there was one beer. Friday.
One Beer Friday presented by 1620 The Beer, which is available right now.
Did you destroy the cool beer pyramid, Josh?
I hope not.
Oh, okay. It's still there. I didn't know if you took it off the top.
No.
Can I finish?
Yeah, let him finish, Nick.
1620 The Beer available right now at Fernando's at 75th and Pacific. And the very, 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 very limited edition cans that Josh just opened a moment ago.
Oh, yeah.
We're hoping to get these bad boys in stores at some point. And if you want to request either a place to have it on tap or a place you can buy it in person, make sure you go to 1620thezone.com and you can fill out our little questionnaire and tell the folks where you would like to see and try 1620 The Beer, because it's only available right now at Fernando's, 75th and Pacific.
I got an email from our promotions leader earlier today, Emily, with the name of a place and wanting a little bit more info, perhaps to set up a little rendezvous on where it'll be next. So
why'd you make it sound so sexual?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Emily probably grossed out by you.
No, well, I was the rendezvous. I don't know what's going on. Either way,
it's got to be your bowl.
Indeed. It's exciting. It's exciting. Yeah, that's what I'll say.
I'm sure you're excited, you sicko.
I won't say anything else.
We did post these side by side, by the way, of Nick and his alter ego, the ganja smoker from the Lincoln City Council. You can tell.
Is John the only person in the world who still calls it ganja?
Definitely.
He said ganja.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh, man, now I'm You've infected me.
There's like several different.
I know, but you
terms.
use all the old ones.
Yeah,
I like it.
You got to use the weed. That's fine.
Yeah.
Weed's an old
Devil's
term.
lettuce is still pretty
Devil's
good.
lettuce
What
is
is
old.
Rory doing?
Electric lettuce still good.
Sorry.
Jazz cabbage, personal favorite. That's fine.
No, I like ganja. How do you not like ganja?
Cut that out. John's saying I like ganja. Nice.
Thank you for the new return.
Nice.
I like the name. I like the name.
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
cool name.
yeah.
That'll
You
be
like the name.
That'll
I
be
like the
almost
name.
as good as a minute in French.
You won't see me in front of the Lincoln City Council doing that
You
illegal
don't
activity.
believe
Yeah,
in
you'll be in
anything
your
enough to
basement.
go in front of your government to say anything.
What does that mean?
You don't. What do you stand for? Would you ever go in
What
front
do
of?
I stand for?
Yeah.
I stand against people like you extremists.
What did
who
I
want
do?
everything one extreme or the other. That's what I stand against.
That's so that you're sitting at home. You're not going anywhere.
No, I wouldn't waste my time down
See?
there anyway.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Those bumblehead morons don't listen anyway.
I
Yeah, I
bet
would-
Wrigley gets down, John. I
wouldn't-
bet Wrigley's cool.
I wouldn't go to one of those things. That sounds miserable.
Exactly.
Because it's we said the term freak show earlier. It just seems like a sideshow all the time.
Oh, it is. It's a
You know?
sideshow.
Oh,
Hey,
it's
can
gotta
I
be
say
exhausting.
something? Like, remember when the Chargers were leaving San Diego
Mhm.
and Mr. Bolt or whatever his name is went in the full regalia? He had the pads on.
Yeah,
he had
Mr.
the bolts
Bolt was
on.
there.
Yeah, indeed.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I saw this yesterday. Now, normally, I'm not going to give the company the recognition, but I get these weird emails from time to time. And this one came into the junk folder.
Oh,
It's a service that allows for adult entertainment, live adult entertainment.
Oh,
Basically, internet video peep shows,
fun.
right?
uh-huh.
And this company put out a press release yesterday that announced that they are banning Commissioner Rob Manfred from entering its platform until the lockout is over.
What is this company? You said you're not going to give him credit, or you're going to?
No,
give
I'm
him
not.
credit? Okay.
The company's letter to Mr. Manfred barring him from the use of the platform is as follows. If you aren't allowing Mike Trout and Jacob deGrom to play with their bats and balls, why should we allow you to play with yours?
Well done by them. We're talking about him.
I appreciate these.
Well, we're talking
Right,
about
not
what
by
they did,
name.
not by
Yeah.
name.
I appreciate
Pornhub.
these adult entertainment industries taking a stand against stuff like this.
Me too.
Because did you hear what the big one is doing right now? Also,
Who's the big one?
Pornhub.
Oh no, what are they doing?
They blocked their service in Russia.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, man, tough look for the Russians.
Oh, that's going to be a rough look for the Russians.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be pretty backed up, if you know what I mean.
Not good. So, this is the first full week of spring football.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's been enjoying spring practice so far.
Yes, we've all. We're
Oh,
so,
I've loved it.
we're so pumped it's back.
We're all very pumped it's back. But you saw did you see or hear a comment?
Heard a conversation.
Heard a conversation.
Yeah, Sam McEwen mentioned something earlier this week. That and so I assume it was from one of like the sidebar conversations. It wasn't a podium
With one of
thing.
the assistant coaches.
And I'm paraphrasing this, so I don't have the exact vernacular down, but basically, a coach admitted, like he was asked about a player, if I'm understanding it right, like he said something and he admitted, like, look, I'm not, I'm not saying everything, or I'm not going to say who's like in the top of the depth chart because
Who's getting the most reps?
Yeah, because I don't want the person behind him to leave. I don't want that person to leave. I don't want that person to enter the transfer portal. And first, whoever this coach was, like, that's very interesting that they would openly admit, like, yeah, I'm not going to go down this road because it could result in a player transferring.
Mm-hmm.
But it also, obviously got the gears turning in my brain. I imagine yours too, of like, we always take everything with a grain of salt at this time of year. Every year we're going to hear that the team is closer than they've ever been. They're working harder than they ever have. And look, I think that there can be a truth to that. If you're a sophomore and you're not working harder than you were as a freshman, I would honestly be pretty disappointed in you. I don't know if I always agree that, hey, you're closer than you've ever been. That's tough. And it really shows itself when you're in the middle of the season and you've lost a couple of games in a row. But to admit something, to that degree, it's like, oh, wow. So it's just all fluff. It's all fluff right now in spring, and everything is great because you almost have to say one thing so you don't lose a player. So that player doesn't feel disrespected.
I'll be frank, this sucks.
I agree.
This absolutely sucks. And it sucks from the standpoint of now coaches are so worried about whether or not they're going to be able to keep their depth.
Yes.
That they're either I'm guessing they're not manipulating the number of snaps in practice. At least I would hope not. But that they're openly saying, I don't want to say anything about this because someone's feelings might get hurt and they might end up transferring. And I'm sorry, that sucks. Now, I understand that having these freedoms to move about, go place to place, not have to sit out, giving young people that choice is a good thing. But it can lead to really bad decisions. And the fact that someone ahead of you on the depth chart is ahead of you on the depth chart in the first place and might be getting a little more work than you because they are ahead of you on the depth chart, and that would be enough for someone to say, I can't do this anymore. I mean, that's a terrible way to go through life. Because if anything, that should motivate you.
Yes, it should.
Now, this is not me going old man mode and saying, well, we need to go back to the way things were so that there's a disincentive to transfer. But I think what this does do, I think this really reemphasizes how important trust and relationships are. Trust and relationships. If you're someone who's behind on the depth chart and you're wanting to leave because you don't think you're getting a fair shake, what you're really saying is you don't trust the coaches who are making that decision are making it for the right reasons. There's not enough trust there. So really what I'm doing is I'm putting this back on coaches to develop those relationships to where listen, if I'm behind on the depth chart, but I believe that the person telling me this and making that assignment and making those practice reps, if I believe that person, that they have my best interest at heart, then I'm going to be more apt to stay, to gut through it, to work through it, so that I get to be the one at the top of the depth chart. So really what some of these early, these transfers are, and I'm not taking away the responsibility from the kids themselves. But let's face it, 18, 19, 20-year-olds tend to make more dumb decisions at 18, 19, and 20 years old than they do when they're 29, 30, 31, or 49, 40, 40, or 51, etc. They can still make dumb decisions. But if part of what coaching is, if part of what true coaching is, and we've talked a lot about what great coaching looks like, when we talked this week about, what Greg McDermott has done with Creighton, for example. I guarantee you there's a lot of trust in that locker room right now. And with a lot of successful programs, there's a lot of trust in that locker room. And so if I hear coaches complaining about, well, you can't deal with these young people these days, and now we're giving them all these avenues to leave with no consequence
Yeah.
or leave for free, that tells me there's a problem with you and being able to establish the amount of trust necessary. This is why developing those relationships during the recruiting process is so very important, because that's how you start the process of developing trust. Then when they come on your campus and they go through your drills and they go through your coaching, that's where you set the hook. And that's where the trust really, that's where the rubber meets the road when it comes to trust. Programs who aren't going to have issues, and listen, everyone's going to have it, especially in a sport like football, where you've got literally hundreds of players on every team. You have over 100 players on every team. There's always going to be someone that leaves. It's hard not to think that there's not going to be players that leave. But as we go through this process, Josh, of, kind of analyzing how, transfer portal and, free transfer is going to impact the game, and we really get enough data points out there, I think what it's going to end up showing is that the great programs with the great coaches who establish trust, whose players believe in what they are hearing, will be the ones that aren't as impacted by the transfer portal and by people leaving early than the rest.
Yeah, I think if you kind of start with like an admittance of, okay, here's the first string player and then here's the second string player. If there can't be the conversation with the backup about why they're the backup, and where feelings can't be hurt and it can just be an honest discussion, it's almost like what are you doing there? Because you have to be able to do that. Like, I think that you will always want a player that, of course, is going to want to be the starter. But you want a player who also will understand maybe the difference between why they are not on the field more often and why a different player is. Because if their view of themselves, their honest view of themselves, does not match up as close as possible with your view of them, that's incredibly tough. And that's when you almost have to do some of this kind of hand-holding, stuff to do that. I've tried to think as you were talking about various times in my life where I was like on the bench or maybe had just earned a starting spot and like what those conversations were like. And maybe it's just because I like never was really great. And certainly, look, almost every player that's going to go to college, they were most likely an all-district player at minimum, and a lot of them were going to be all-state players, and some of them are all-Americans for the entire country. So they've been viewed, by themselves and by others for most of their lives as really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So it is probably a lot to handle the first time that you're actually on the bench. I was often on the bench. So when I was on the bench, if I'm a second string wide receiver or whatever, I know why I am. I knew my limitations and I understood my limitations. Not to mention, of course, there's not a transfer portal. I could either play football or basketball or whatever it was, or I could quit and not want to do it anymore. There has to be, though, like you want that distance between how good am I and then how good I view myself. Those need to be a lot closer. And so if coaches have to speak a certain way, I don't know. I wasn't like shocked by this from Sam when I heard that.
No.
But in a way, because like I think I would have assumed it, but it's also like, wow, you can't have that honest of a conversation. And so, what it made me wonder? It did make me wonder, okay, I wonder who this coach was. Because one of the things that I have noticed early on that I've really liked is that Mickey Joseph and Mark Whipple, those guys seem to be really, really honest. And it's a small sample size to begin with. Sure, they've been, Nebraska's coaches for 2.5 months, but they seem honest. I thought Whipple's his admission of who the starting quarterback the other day, I thought that was a breath of fresh air. Scott Frost knows who got the first team reps. He knows it. He's the head coach. Of course he knows who got it. And he kind of hemmed and hawed and danced around it. And then Whipple's like, yeah, it's Casey Thompson. Of course it's Casey Thompson. And sometimes, like, one of the things that you rail off on, not in a bad way, is like overcoaching. You talk so much about overcoaching. And I almost want there to be a term for this version of coaching, like the media part of it, where it's like it's just keeping everything so close to the vest that it's like, who cares? If you can't admit who the team knows who got the first reps, it's not a big deal. It's okay. Somebody's going to have to be the starter. And so I hope that type of stuff from Whipple and that type of stuff from Joseph, and I'll be honest, that type of stuff maybe permeates with some of the rest of the staff. Some of the older guard, the guys who've been with Frost for all 4 years, or some who've been there for 2 or 3 years. I hope that ends up being the case, because I think that could be a good thing if maybe there's a bit more honesty with everybody, and I understand there's going to be secrets to be kept, but
this isn't a state secret.
Exactly.
Or at least it shouldn't be. And I do understand why some coaches go this route, because they don't want to feed the media hype. They don't want to feed the people on the message boards or the callers to our shows, or talk show hosts for that matter, or columnists for, looks like this guy's going to be the starter. I mean, it's frigging April. It's March the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
There's a long
6 months, man.
way to go. A lot of things can change. But honestly, with a lot of coaches, it's muscle memory. It's just, hey, I don't want to. Just the idea of giving any information away is a foreign concept to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think some of it's muscle memory. But going back to, just the whole idea of trust. The relationship part of the recruiting process is so important. But that relationship, if anything, the transfer portal, we hear coaches talk about we need to go out and re-recruit our guys.
Yeah.
Well, if you've already established a good relationship, you don't need to re-recruit anybody, because the trust is there. The friendship, the relationship, the mentor-mentee relationship is already there. If you're doing it right, you should never have to re-recruit anybody, because that young man or that young woman is going to look to you as someone that I chose them because I trust them, and I'm not just going to ditch that, at the drop of a hat. There'll always be some that will fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
People you thought you
that you thought you had a great relationship with,
because
that's life.
Maybe an NIL deal came in that was just too good to be true, or something else. And let's face it, even in the best relationships, people can make bad decisions, or better termed, irrational decisions, illogical decisions. So that's always going to happen. But over the course of time, you're going to win more than you're going to lose with losing players to the portal, because you've done the best job of developing, cultivating, and fostering those relationships and that trust.
Honestly, I hate the term re-recruit players, because it really, what I hear is, we're not allowed as coaches to be jerks to players like we used to. Because, for example, if you are at your job and you are successful at your job, you should feel appreciated. That's the goal, right? For all of us, you hope, hey, I'm successful at my job, that my boss appreciates me. And that doesn't mean my boss has to come over and say, great, good job, awesome show again. I don't need that. But you just want to feel like, hey, I matter here. I'm an important, I'm a key in the cog, right? I matter to this place. And if a player doesn't maybe feel that way, and again, it doesn't require you going up and, oh my gosh, Adrian, you're the best. You're so incredible all the time. No, there can be honesty. If you fail, or if you struggle, or if you make a mistake, I think you should be able to say that. But if you're good, I don't think it hurts to be like, hey, good job today, player X or employee X. And so I've just never liked that term, because it implies, that they didn't have to do that, or that now you have to treat them a different way. If it requires treating someone like a decent human being to get them to come back, and that's a difficult ask for you, then I don't really know what we're going to be talking about. But I know some coaches, they don't like that, because things have changed.
Coming up, order has been restored in predictions, and we have some unsportsmanlike content. Will Nick be lucid enough after his visit to the Lincoln City Council to even participate in predictions?
Oh, yeah. Somebody asked earlier, Jordan asked, is this the boneless wings aren't wings guy? No, that was a different guy.
It's a different guy.
Different guy. It's because this was Nick.
Boneless wings aren't wings, though.
Good take. They're nuggets with sauce on them.
They're just nuggies.
Yeah, with sauce.
Popcorn chicken.
Yeah.
How about this tweet from Not Me? This is from Kate. Kate says, so 2 weeks ago, my husband, see, that's not me. I don't have a
Not
husband.
me.
2 weeks ago, my husband and his dad went to Fernando's after spending some quality time at Horseman's Park. I couldn't go with, but had one request from my husband, bring me back a 1620 the beer. He did. I greatly enjoyed it. Can't wait to get some more, but I want it in a can.
How were they able to bring it back?
John, I was wondering the same thing. Crowler, maybe a growler? I don't know. But look, I have it in a can. Kate cannot be me. I think, Your Honor,
Kate,
this is proof.
Kate can't be Josh.
You know, you hit enough points on there to prove that it wasn't you that I'm suspicious that it is you because it was all like too perfect, you know?
Mhm.
You know, do you agree, John?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Wow.
I do.
Wow.
And Josh knows exactly where Horseman's Park is.
We did a show there one time.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up, it's time for predictions as we get ready for the weekend on 1620 The Zone.
Zone, taste of our takes. Sharp and Betting in the morning.
Eric Chenander joins us now. So you don't pay attention to Twitter. Do you pay attention to Sports Talk Radio?
Only you guys. That's it.
What's a day look like for the defensive coordinator at Nebraska?
Yeah, well, as you guys know, it's the way that things are shaped up in the current football landscape. Recruiting never stops, so you're always blocking out time for that.
For more, tune in every day to 1620 a.m. or go to 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly cloudy, warm, and gusty for your Friday afternoon with highs today into the upper 60s and lower 70s with southerly wind gusts possible up to 35 miles an hour. Heading into tonight, keeping mostly cloudy skies and breezy winds with us. Lows expected into the lower 50s with a chance for isolated non-severe thunderstorms. Heading into your Saturday, temperatures up near 70 with a chance for strong to severe storms in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. As far as wrecks go, you should have some smooth sailing out there. We are getting reports of delays if you're headed west on 370 just before I-80. Delays on eastbound 370 between 84th and 72nd. Slow going up on L Street for westbound commuters at 90th. And then also delays on West Center Road for both directions at 156th. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Burton AC Plumbing, Heating, and More.
Foul! Drain blocking. Time to call Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More. Right now, get any drain opening for just $88. Drain it for $88. Schedule your drain service today at justcallburton.com.
Guys, let's face it, there is a time when you just need to get out of the house, to have your own place, to be with the guys, or just a quiet, relaxing place for yourself. Well, Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge hears you loud and clear. Settle in. Escape to Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge for an incredible selection plus premium cocktails, a knowledgeable, friendly staff, state-of-the-art humidor, and incredible lounge. Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, just off I-680 at 48th Street next to Cubby's.
You're in the driver's seat with Woodhouse. Shop, finance, and buy your next vehicle your way. From the comfort of your home at woodhouse.com or one of our 19 dealerships, we've got something for everyone. From new stylish SUVs that blend comfort and capability, or a pre-owned truck packaged for durability and everyday functionality. When it's time to upgrade your drive, shop confidently with Woodhouse, serving customers and communities since 1975. This is Woodhouse.
At Baker's, we believe in higher standards for fresh. So we do up to a 27-point inspection on our produce. Like for oranges, we check for scarring and sunburn, allowing only the best produce to reach our shelves. Because when it comes to fresh for everyone, we believe the juice is worth the squeeze. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
We're hiring for immediate openings with next day pay, benefits, and great perks. Apply today at jobs.kroger.com/bakers.
Baseball season is coming for the UNO Mavericks. Season tickets at Tal Anderson Field are on sale now, and plans start at just $265. Go to omavs.com/ticks or call 402-554-6287 to get your tickets now.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson.
And I didn't see any pelvic thrusts. I don't see any pelvic thrusts either. I don't see anything sexual in nature.
On 1620, The Zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for predictions.
Under, bet the under. Vikings and the under.
Yes, friends, order has been restored. The round of predictions where the men are separated from the little ones has
Feels
once
very
again proven to be true.
So what happened
like
this
the
time?
Sun rising in the east.
Do you not
setting in
put the
west.
numbers on the sheet anymore? Because if I do win again, you don't want to see
No,
that. You're a coward.
No, I didn't.
Coward.
You don't.
Coward.
You don't want to see the numbers.
I do.
I went 11-4 last week. Josh went 4-11,
Damn it, Nebraska.
and Nick went 6-9.
Nice.
So mine last again.
Nope, you still have a
69.
1-game lead over Nick.
Thank God.
I got the cool one.
Yeah, Josh didn't do too well. Yes, the basketball killed you last week. You did not get one basket. You got the
What?
Providence game right. You got
Nailed
Providence
it.
over Creighton, but you got every other basketball game wrong.
Mm.
Oh, and you lost at golf. Meanwhile, golf boy over here,
Yeah.
golf guy of the week.
Well, you can't attach a golf thing though. I got to go to FanDuel now to look this up. Yeah, I was pretty mad at myself because as I was watching the tournament over the weekend, I'm like, why didn't I just go with the top three? Because I know. Now this week it's going to be interesting because the leader is only up by 2 strokes right now, and everybody else is
Nice.
pretty bunched. So we'll see what happens there. All right, let's get to it.
All right, predictions. It is.
Also, real quick, I'm surprised. I heard so much talk this week about the USFL, so I was like, oh, cool, we're going to be able to have football that we're not going to watch in here. It hasn't even started. It's been like a month away.
Yeah, it doesn't start till April.
Yeah, for some reason, everyone was talking about it this week. So we'll have that eventually.
Devils and Rangers NHL action tonight. I know that they go to games and spell devils across their chest, but I'll go with the Rangers.
The Devils! Go with the Rangers.
Give me the Devils.
Wow.
Yeah.
Satan boy over here.
Do not have an official spread because all these games are tomorrow, but just using Ken Palm as a guide of sorts. Iowa and Illinois, basically a pick 'em. So just pick a winner. Iowa at Illinois.
I'm going to go with Illinois.
Iowa.
Illinois.
They're the home team, John.
Mike Krzyzewski's last game at Cameron Indoor as the head coach of the Duke Blue Devils. North Carolina plus 11.5.
Ooh, baby. Duke. So I have two tracks on this one that I'm thinking. On one track, Duke rolls because it's the final home game. They do it for coach, blah, blah, blah. On the other, they are playing so tight because it's the last time. The seats are $1 million to get in. I'm going to go with the former, but man, I don't feel good about it. Give me Duke. I don't feel good about it.
I'm taking Duke. I think they roll.
You think they're going to roll?
Who wins Arch Madness? Who wins the tournament? Finals on Sunday on CBS. Who wins Arch Madness?
You didn't attach the thing.
I didn't know it was called Arch Madness until today.
So, Nick, the teams that you are thinking about here to win, they don't have the updated odds because games have been played right now. The favorites. No, Loyola. Are they the favorite? I'll go with Loyola.
That's who I'm taking. Loyola, Chicago.
Yeah.
There you go.
You could have taken Northern Iowa, who just beat Loyola.
Oh, give me UNI.
All
Hell
right.
yeah, I'll take the Panthers.
Just talked him into it.
Nick just learned that UNI is in the Missouri Valley.
They are. John Moran, over under. Who are they even playing?
Over.
Who the heck are you even playing?
This game. So this is this tomorrow's game? This is tomorrow's game. They're playing the Magic over Orlando.
The Orlando Magic, some
This
would
was
say?
a fake prop. They would indeed, Nick. I created this prop off the top of my head.
Mm.
I've used last night's line. 30.5, right? That's what we said?
That's what you said.
Over again.
Under.
Over.
Over.
Yeah, he had 38 last night. This dude is on a tear right now.
Some
The GOAT.
bunch of limeys and
Premier
losers in Britain playing soccer.
They'll be
Wolves-
eating fish and chips.
Wolves. Oh God.
You don't like fish and chips?
No.
Why?
Fish isn't that
Fried
good.
fish. Bleh.
Another producer that doesn't like fried fish?
Fish isn't that good.
Fried?
No.
Cod, a fried batter, beer battered and fried?
No.
With some vinegar?
Josh, you're not going
Oh.
to talk anyone into that.
Wolves versus Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace sounds like a cool place for drugs.
Yeah, it does.
Give me Crystal Palace.
I also want Crystal Palace.
Let's go.
Well, then I'm going to go with the people who stay and don't break the law. Give me the Wolves.
Well, but
Wolves are famous for being law-abiding.
yeah,
are.
John, they
At
bite
least they're
people's
not
throats.
doing drugs.
John
At
has
least they're
clearly
not
never
doing
seen
drugs.
Twilight.
Neither have I, Nick.
Wow.
Why would I see Twilight?
Why? And
Banging
here's the
soundtrack.
other why.
You might actually like the
Why are
soundtrack.
we picking crappy British soccer when we could be picking the best soccer in the world? La Liga. We got Yokozuna versus Villarreal. Oh, I'm sorry, Osasuna or Osasuna. Yokozuna, whatever.
Well, Yoko broke up the Beatles, so give me the other team.
The Beatles broke up the Beatles.
No, it was Yoko's fault, Nick. I still need to watch parts 2 and 3 of the doc.
Osasuna?
Osasuna.
Osasuna. I didn't
Yeah, I
want
think
to
I'm going to go with
Osasuna.
Yokozuna here.
Yeah, you're gonna go with
I
them.
mean,
or-
he beat Bret Hart in WrestleMania. Yeah, I think I'll go
Oh,
with
is this
Yoko.
a wrestler?
Well, Yokozuna is actually the name for like the lead sumo wrestler.
Okay.
But then there was a pro wrestler.
Yeah,
named
Josh.
Yokozuna.
Oh, my bad.
Duh.
My
Yeah.
bad.
All right, here's that golf tournament that you were
Hell yes.
yammering about. I'm sure like 5 people will be watching it this weekend.
So is this
This gets more viewers than your favorite sports and my favorite sports that
No,
are
it-
not the NFL. That are
So
not
is
the
it-
NFL and college
No,
football.
it
Dude, golf gets more viewers than the NBA and Major League Baseball.
well, that's not trying very hard.
So is it just people who get like letters directly from Arnold Palmer? They're like, "Hey, come golf."
well, if they were getting letters directly from Arnold
That's what I'm
Palmer,
saying. They're getting it from his ghost.
that would be impressive.
That's what I'm saying.
got this letter from Arnold Palmer. I thought he was dead.
It's a spooky golf tournament.
I have a drink named after me. It's me.
Want some lemonade and
So
tea?
pick 3.
No, tea is
I will.
gross.
I will take Hovland, T. Gooch, and B. Horschel.
Billy Horschel?
Yeah,
Big
V.
horse guy?
Hovland, T. Gooch,
Victor.
and B. Herschel Walker.
I'm going to go Hovland,
Good.
McElroy, of course. Actually,
Oh, of course.
I actually bet on him yesterday when we were in Iowa. Promo code 1620. And I'll go Horschel. That sounds good to me.
Victor Hovland, Paul Casey, and Fitzpatrick. Matty Fitz is what people
Wow,
call
that
him.
is quite the bet there for you.
Matty Fitz.
Golf. What a sport.
A much better sport is NASCAR there in Las Vegas.
I
this
can't
week.
wait in 2
First,
weeks from
second, and
now.
third in the odds.
I can't wait for 2 weeks from now when we get to add
What's in
Formula
2
One
weeks?
to this.
Oh, bummer.
The 20th. Let's go.
Well, here's the thing, though, Nick. In 2 weeks from now, we're off on Friday because of the tournament of great significance.
Which means that means I have to spend all week talking about it. My picks, my predictions.
So Penzo 400. Josh is going with Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, and Joey Logano.
Mhm.
I will go with. Ooh. Well, this is his home track, so give me Kyle Busch. Let's go Chase Elliott and Marty Trucks.
Marty Trucks. Give me Chase, Hamlin, and Bubba.
You're just gonna ride Bubba all year. You're literally throwing away a pick. He's not gonna
believe
Doesn't he have
in
one
Bubba.
win?
He's got one win.
Maybe
but
he'll double. He'll get 2.
Yeah, I don't think.
He's driving Michael
You know what?
Jordan's
Hey,
team.
Hey, you know what? Put it on the list. Nick's going to be right about Bubba once this year.
Okay.
All right.
No spread, but I'm going to set the line at the Nebraska women, who, by the way, got a special guest visit in the locker room from the Super Bowl runner-up coach.
Wow. Why do you have to do it that way?
Well, he was.
In front of the program.
Zach Taylor,
Mm-hmm.
he gave him a little pregame speech today. Husker women plus 3.5 at Michigan. I know Husker fan going to say, but they beat them by 20 in Lincoln.
They beat them by 20.
They beat them by 20 in Lincoln.
Everyone's saying it.
But
that was in Lincoln.
Neutral
This is a
site.
neutral
This was a
site.
month or so ago. I'm
That was
totally
an ass
guessing.
whooping.
Totally guessing on this line. It doesn't matter anyway because I've just given myself 3.5 points. I'm taking Nebraska.
You are taking Nebraska?
I'm taking Nebraska plus 3.5.
Wow. I'm going to go Michigan.
Hater.
Also Michigan.
Hey, love watching Nebraska women. They play very good basketball, but Michigan is good. Michigan is better.
You know, I just realized this. I did not set a line for
the Nebraska ball game.
The Nebraska ball game.
What
does it matter?
Yes. Well, with how Nebraska's playing now, Nick.
The line matters.
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? They're 2-0 in their last 2 games.
Oh,
they're
that
very
changes
good.
everything.
They're very good. Many are saying.
I'm going to say plus
10?
13.5.
13.5.
I'm using Ken Palm as a rough guide.
I am always wrong on them in predictions. When I say they're going to cover, they don't. When I say they're not going to cover, they do.
Yep.
They cover. They keep this train rolling. They lose by 8.
Just want Wisconsin.
The correct team is favored.
I just want Wisconsin. They're going to win.
They will win.
I'm also going to go with Nebraska ball.
Okay.
Bryce McGowan's over under 19.5 points.
He's on a nice little tear.
I do want the over on him.
Samesies.
Sweep. Now, something different here.
Baseball.
Oh.
Nebraska's in the midst of playing 4 games this weekend. Creighton is in the midst of playing 3 games this weekend.
Okay.
Omaha is playing 4 games this weekend. So that's 11 games.
Total.
A lot of games.
11 games. Over under on the total number of wins by those 3 schools.
How many games are they playing? 11?
They're playing 11. I'm setting the total at 8.5.
And so we already have a game in hand with Nebraska.
Nebraska's already got 1 win.
And they're on their way towards a second.
Yes.
Right now. So let's just pretend that they're at 2. So that means we just need to get 7 more wins. You know, we got 2 Nebraska games and then the other games with everybody else.
Yep.
Under.
You're still going under.
Still going to go under.
I'll take the over.
So you're saying 9-2, right? If you go over, you're saying 9-2 or better. It's 11 games? Man, that's tough. You get 1 loss by all the teams, and that's the under right there. 1 loss by every team, and it's under.
All right, let's go. Let's move it to 7.
7.5 over, because that's the number I like. I like 8.
All right.
Over.
All right, yeah. You said over on 8.5.
Oh man, see now doing this, I think we're all going to agree.
So you want to go back to 8.5 then?
Let's go back to 8.5.
8.5, I think, is the better number because it's tougher.
Yeah.
I'm going to go slight under.
All right. So
he's going over.
You're going over. I'm going to go under.
All right.
Creighton and Seton Hall tomorrow afternoon, 1:30 tip. Noon pregame with Ravi Lula right here on 1620 The Zone. Pick 'em.
We don't have a line yet. No
don't
line.
have a line. I looked at him.
Dang it.
It's going to be low single. I'm just going to say pick 'em.
Okay.
And of course, I never bet against my guys.
I'm riding the Creighton high, so give me the Blue Jays.
Give me Seton Hall.
Wow. The one team in this state that's doing well. You're just not going to take them.
Well, you know, it worked for me last week.
Will Ryan Kalkbrenner have a double-double?
Yes.
I want him to, but no.
I'm going to say no. It'll be Hawkins this time.
All right.
And that is predictions. Coming up, some unsportsmanlike content, including more crap about the Lakers being bad.
Oh, they suck.
They're bad.
Yeah.
On 1620 The Zone.
Zone, taste of our takes. Sharpen betting in the morning.
Ed Service, head baseball coach at Creighton, joins us.
One of my favorite coaches in the state, Coach Service. And on my bingo card, you bring up Ty Block, the resident Dodger killer. As a Dodger fan,
Well, look, it did hits off Clayton Kershaw. He would come back to remind me during alumni weekend, say, Coach, I got 2 hits off Clayton Kershaw.
For more, tune in every day to 1620 a.m. or go to 1620thezone.com.
Hey guys, it's the new year.
Are you still struggling with erectile dysfunction? I've yet to meet anyone that enjoys timing those intimate moments around a pill. Well, now you don't have to. The advanced wave technology at Brookside Medical has been shown by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic to restore and even regrow blood vessels. It can improve circulation and eliminate erectile dysfunction. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us in the next 2 minutes and you'll receive a consultation, assessment, and blood flow ultrasound free, plus a special gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. Trust me. This is a $600 value, free to callers now. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Guys, get rid of your ED and get that spark back. Call Brookside Medical now to qualify. 402-671-7777.
Attention, Omaha residents. Have you been lied to? Lied to by Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine? Hi, I'm Inc. Magazine best-selling author Brett Kitchen, and I want to give you a free copy of my new book, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, because according to Time Magazine, Wall Street's 401k have failed millions of Americans. After losing 35% in my IRA in the crash years ago, I said enough. And since then, I discovered a way to grow money potential double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Wealth Beyond Wall Street now to get your free book and talk to a specialist to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose during the next market crash. Call 800-283-9595 now to discover this asset that people like Walt Disney and JCPenney used to grow wealthy. Plus, when you call right now, you'll get free shipping and handling, no credit card required, and I'll send you a free copy of the audiobook so you can listen in your car. Call 1-800-283-9595. 1-800-283-9595. That's 1-800-283-9595.
I need 4 more of the biscuit carnitas, 2 burnt end platters, 3.
The kitchen at Kai's Barbecue is firing on all cylinders.
Greg, help me bring these to the pickup counter.
He needs food runners who can hit the ground quickly.
86 on the chicken and we're short-staffed. Let's pick it up.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. But to cruise through challenges, you need someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PCs and tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get where you want to go. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Hey, if you love 1620 The Zone, you're going to love this one. Introducing 1620 The Beer. Unlike the 1620 on-air staff, it's got taste, style, and flavor. And for a limited time, you could try 1620 The Beer on tap at Fernando's at 75th and Pacific. 1620 The Beer from the makers of 1620 The Zone.
Listen to Woodhouse Auto Family Blue Jay Overtime, the Creighton men's basketball postgame show on 1620 The Zone, and live from the downtown Addie Sports Bar and Grill on 10th Street right after every home game, exclusively on your home for Creighton Blue Jays, 1620 The Zone.
It's the postseason for Omaha men's basketball. It's a new life for the Mavs as they travel to Sioux Falls, South Dakota in the Summit League tournament to take on the number 1 seeded South Dakota State Jackrabbits. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Sharp. Join me on Saturday night on 1620 The Zone, 5:30 with the pregame. Tip-off 6 o'clock for the Mavs and the Jacks.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Look, I made you some
Unsportsmanlike
content.
Unsportsmanlike content.
Unsportsmanlike content. Content that's unsportsmanlike.
Time for some unsportsmanlike content. And not only was he spotted at a Lincoln City Council meeting, but he didn't even bother to watch the own film that he picked himself. It's Nick Grimm, ladies and gentlemen.
Real quick, are you going to watch the movie?
Yeah, no, I'm going to watch it. I want to watch the movie.
You want to?
I really want to watch that movie.
Tell.
That's why I picked it.
We could tell.
Okay. Well, you know what? If I wasn't out there fighting the good fight, watching the movie, then nothing.
What, smoking your dope in front of the Lincoln City Council?
Yeah, it's not really fighting. It's just getting
Allegedly.
high. That's, I don't know.
The Baseball Players Union is launching a $1 million fund to help stadium workers who will be affected by the loss of games due to the lockout. Savvy PR move by the players to win hearts and minds?
It absolutely is. Now, because, there's a part of me that says, wow, these guys get it. But, I mean, of course, there's a big part of them that are doing this because they know it's going to win them a few brownie points. But you know what? If you do something good, it's still doing something good. So well done by them, because they can turn it on the owner so quick. Why aren't you helping out all
matter
these
of fact,
people?
I saw after this question was
The owner's like,
posted
here's all of our money.
that the owners are also, or baseball is also going to try to do something similar. But there's a difference. The owners already pay these people to work.
Mm-hmm.
The players don't pay them. The players are doing it. They're doing it out of the goodness of their own hearts. The owners are doing it because they feel guilty for what they've done to the sport.
Exactly.
Remember when Oregon linebacker Kayvon Thibodeau said that he didn't want to play pro ball in Cali due to high state taxes imposed by the totalitarian liberal government?
Yeah, because he didn't want to pay for the tax number on the back of his jersey. I remember that.
Yesterday, Thibodeau tweeted, "I want to either get drafted or traded to the Rams. 100 emoji. That's a dream come true. I guess playing for the world champs trumps playing greedy Democrat-run governments a higher share of your paycheck." Huh?
Yep. See, you win a trophy.
I don't write these, by the way.
You win a trophy, and all of a sudden you're like, I'll suck it up.
I'll be a lib.
I'll suck it up. I'll pay those greedy liberal Democrats who steal all my money.
Are you paying directly to the Democrats?
Stop the steal.
I believe
Is that how it
so.
goes?
I don't
Nancy
you,
Pelosi is
don't
worth
you,
a
when
lot
you
of
do
money.
Your taxes,
her and her husband.
Don't you, when you do your taxes, write the check to
Dear Joe Biden.
Dear Joe Biden or Nancy Pelosi
President B.
Or
hey, when I have the under the comment section, I put, "Please give to Democrats."
Yes. Wow, that's pretty. Because the first time we talked about him, that was before the Super Bowl.
Right.
Man, so if Dallas would have won, he would have been like, trade me to Dallas.
Well,
and they don't have the state taxes in Texas.
Just because he's saying that doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Well, obviously it's not.
Now, what would be hilarious is if Thibodeau fell down to the third round when the Rams actually get to make a pick, and then they draft him. But obviously that's not going to happen.
Remember when the Bengals' quirky, confident, and Super Bowl runner-up kicker stayed on the field to watch the Snoop Dogg halftime show? Well, his special teams coach is still not pleased. Darren Simmons told The Athletic that sore subject, that's a real sore subject, idiot kickers, am I right?
I thought it was a weird look. I get that, as a kicker, you don't need to be in on the intimate game planning of, what the offense needs to do against Aaron Donald or what the defense needs to do against Matthew Stafford, but just the sign of solidarity. You're with your teammates. You're in the locker room. You're there to play the game. You're not there for the entertainment. I thought it was a dumb look in the moment. And I'm kind of glad that the special teams coach is like, dude, that's not right, bro.
Yeah, I understand that kickers and punters and really just the guys that are solely doing special teams, they kind of are their own creatures, especially at practice. If you've ever been to a football practice at a higher level, it's pretty funny to watch them just kind of goof around over on the sidelines. But this is something else. This is a little bit different. Very odd.
The Lakers lost again last night. Do we need to stop asking about them in Unsportsmanlike Conduct because they suck?
I think so. I think that we are banning the Lakers from this segment.
We're going to have a funeral for the Lakers?
We probably should. They are a bad basketball
they're
team.
Still in the playoff
I
chase.
know. That's the crazy thing is they're still in the playoff chase and they still have supposedly good players and they could go on a run, but they're definitely not going to.
This would kind of suck. I almost feel like Josh is doing this because he doesn't want us talking about his favorite team anymore because he's so embarrassed by them.
They're really, really bad.
Yeah, they're not good.
This is not good.
Which is why we probably should talk about them because it's kind of fun seeing how bad they are.
We did have the funeral for Nebraska, and then we still talk about Nebraska. So
yeah, I know. I'm not sure why we did that.
According to Adam Schefter, the Cowboys are likely to release Amari Cooper. Josh, are you good with this?
I am. He is due a lot of money. I did see a couple tweets from the Cowboys folks this morning saying this could be like the last maybe ploy from the franchise to try to get him to take a little bit less money. He is due $20 million in fully guaranteed money. on March the 20th, which is the 5th day of the new league year. So just over 2 weeks from now. He is not worth that type of money anymore, though. He is so often injured. I think he's taken a step back. So yeah, I am ultimately going to be okay with this.
You should be.
Okay.
Because they can save that money and pay somebody else to come in and not win a playoff game.
Nice.
I wonder what will happen to Amari Cooper.
It's a good question.
Someone will pick him up.
He'll go
Probably
to the
the
Lakers.
Rams. They'll probably go to the Rams.
Probably the Rams.
Oh,
and
he won the Super Bowl.
He'll win another Super Bowl.
Cool. We don't draft anybody, but we're good. It doesn't bother me,
smart.
but I'm going to get
we're
annoyed.
So smart. Gosh, we're smart.
A calorie intake study, I have no idea how they do this, shows that the New York Jets fans are being done the most harm by their team due to binge eating. What do you think of this list?
What list, Nick?
This list.
Oh.
The list with the link and the thing. You click the
well,
link.
I mean,
you
our
look at the
listeners,
list.
though, the listeners don't know about the
Well,
list.
but
they're listening.
Yeah, exactly. But the Jets are first.
Yeah, how do they know about this?
Well,
Don't worry about
apparently
it.
they did. I don't know how they did this. It was a 2013 study that vicarious losing increases unhealthy eating.
Well, that's definitely true.
And because the Jets have lost the most games in the
that
NFL
makes sense.
the last 5 years, they've caused their fans the least amount of health. But
man,
I mean, they're just strictly looking at the records. Whereas,
yeah, that's kind of boring.
I mean, let's face it. No offense, Josh, but I mean, Dallas fans expect more out of their team, and they haven't delivered in the postseason. You would think that would lead to unhealthy habits.
Yeah,
not just, because let's face it, if you're a true Jets fan, if you're a smart Jets fan, you're checking out at midseason.
And
you're not stressing out about it because you know they already suck. I think the binge eating would come from people who are like on edge because it's like, we should be better than this. And then they're not.
Yeah, the interesting is like this just food or is this alcohol related too?
Oh, it's probably, it's calories.
I was going to say, because that makes sense because the Chiefs are the last. Like, are they really eating healthier down in Kansas City because their team is good? They have barbecue.
Yeah, see, these studies are stupid.
Yeah.
I don't even know why Nick asked the question.
Because I'm a dummy.
Yeah, Nick.
People forget that Coach K's final home game is this weekend. You guys weren't super warm towards him yesterday, but what's your favorite Coach K memory?
I mean, I don't. It's not like he's had like chair throwing incidents or, the really outlandish stuff that Bobby Knight did. Honestly, it's just that omnipresent face on the sidelines with that beak and those beady eyes. And when he gets mad, he just got that look on his face. He just has that look, when he's like, when he's mad at somebody. That's probably what I remember or will remember about Coach K. That and the fact that
he's really good.
He's probably the best coach of all time.
Yeah, so there's two things. One is there's one play that Duke has in their history that actually gives me goosebumps, but he wasn't on the sidelines. That's when Jeff Capel made the half-court shot against Carolina, but he was out that season because he had like a bad back. And so he wasn't even their head coach in that game. They weren't very good that year. They didn't make the tournament. I guess the other thing is how he always would stop guys and then like lecture them. And it was just so weird. Like, that's not being nice to him. So, I don't know.
Wow, Josh out on Coach K.
Yeah. Oh, well.
A JetBlue pilot was suspended to be drunk and removed. Suspected to be drunk and removed from a cockpit this week in Buffalo. He was given a portable breathalyzer test and registered blood alcohol content of 0.17, which is 4 times the limit of what pilots can have. Thoughts?
Okay, my first thought was obviously, wait, that is 4 times the limit? Should the limit be 0? But sure enough, it is 0.04. That is what the Federal Aviation Administration, that is what they allow. So that was the first thing that stood out to me. How about this, though, John, from the story? The flight he was scheduled to pilot took off more than 4 hours late. 4 hours late. Can you imagine being sitting on the tarmac and you're wondering what the hell's going on? It's because the pilot was drunk?
Oh.
And 0.17, like, that's actually drunk.
That's really drunk.
Like, you can't drive. Like, you get in a whole bunch of trouble for driving.
That
at
is
limit.
really drunk.
It's not like it was at 0.05.
God.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Indeed.
And that is Unsportsmanlike Content. This is Bet of the Day coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio. This is 1620 The Zone.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
In a world where fun and cash prizes collide, one game explodes to the forefront. Cash Blast from the Nebraska Lottery. Non-stop excitement, a winning thrill ride, and starring you. Until April 12th. Play 2x2 weekly for a chance to win $5,000 or $500. And if your ticket was a 7-day draw, your prize is doubled. Don't miss it. Cash Blast playing at a lottery retailer near you. 2x2 top prize odds 1 in 105,000.
Attention anyone standing near a mud puddle. Trucks and Bucks is back, so take cover. The Nebraska Lottery's most popular scratch game is roaring down the road again. And this year, we're giving away 8 blue 2022 Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew Flex Fuel trucks. So buy a $2 Trucks and Bucks ticket today. You could win a new Ford F-150 and make a real splash in your neighborhood. Ford F-150 is a registered trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
OSA Crusaders tryouts are here. Enhance your athletes' love for the game with OSA's top-notch facilities and coaching staff. OSA places a major emphasis on age-appropriate skill development through cutting-edge trends, and OSA athletes have fun learning the game the right way. Take your athlete to the next level and give them an experience that is second to none. Check out their website at omahasportsacademy.com. OSA Crusaders, earn your right.
If you saw us at the sports show, then you know what's new in the world of RVs and Leach camper sales. But if you didn't, you're invited to come see the extended show deals with RVs from pop-ups to motorhomes. You'll find the right RV for your family, and you'll see how affordable it is with monthly payments to fit your budget. And don't forget, coffee's always on.
Baseball season is coming for the UNO Mavericks. Season tickets at Tal Anderson Field are on sale now, and plans start at just $265. Go to omavs.com/ticks or call 402-554-6287 to get your tickets now.
Hello, I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. If you've been dissatisfied with your current banking situation, maybe it's time to move to a bank that works to deserve your business. We have an engaged staff that offers exceptional personalized service. We also have a great digital banking platform. We have 2 locations at 108th and Dodge or 202nd and Pacific. So if you're looking for a superior banking relationship, give us a call at 402-827-8100. We'll answer on the first ring. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Here's this week's Maverick Minute. Maverick baseball left USC last weekend without a win, but put up a fight against the former national power, taking them to 12 innings on Friday and leading for a majority of the game on Sunday. Omaha hockey split with number 3 Denver at home last weekend. They have their final regular season series this weekend against number 7 North Dakota. And that's your Maverick Minute on your home for the Mavs. 1620 The Zone, 1180 The Zone, and News Talk 1290.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct. The 1620 The Zone.
And you know why I'm laughing, don't you? Now, it's time for the Unsportsmanlike Conduct Bet of the Day.
Just a little bit under where some folks would like to see this one wind up.
Brought to you by nobody.
You gotta be kidding.
Really, we don't have a sponsor. Sorry.
By the way, real quick, Jordan says about the pilot, probably an actual Jets fan, am I right? I won last night because John Morant had another great game. John lost because he had a very goofy parlay.
Not goofy.
He had Reggie Jackson.
All Reggie Jackson needed to do was score the first points of the game. That's all he needed to do.
And Nick's parlay surprisingly lost.
I need to stop losing by 2 points because it's getting old.
It certainly is. I'm going to go with a golf bet of the day for the tournament this weekend. Give me Rory. Plus 400 to win the Arnold Palmer Invitational. By the way, Nebraska just lost.
Yeah, Nebraska baseball gave up a 3-0 lead, and UT Arlington wins it, scoring all 4 runs in the 9th. 4-3 UT Arlington. Ouch. I'm going to go with the best soccer in the world. La Liga. Give me Espanyol plus 120 over. Get the F out of here.
What are the odds?
Plus 120.
Plus 120.
Plus 120.
I want
what are you looking over here for? I know what I'm doing.
No, I want to know how to. I just want to make sure I spelled it correctly.
Espanyol.
All right, there we go.
I want the Jazz and the Nuggies. It's minus 167.
Oh, heavy favorites tonight. Minus 167.
Yep.
That's better than 8.
Iowa.
Iowa.
All right, coming up this weekend, of course, a lot of great sports going on. Nebraska's women are playing tonight. By the way, I believe Seton Hall won today at the Big East Women's Tournament, so they'll play Creighton tomorrow night, and that's going to be on it's either FS1 or I think it's on FS1, either FS1 or FS2. In the women's Big East Tournament, of course, Creighton men are tomorrow at 1:30. Senior Day against Seton Hall. Jays can clinch a third seed. Either the third or fourth, depending on what happens. If they win, they clinch it. If UConn loses, they clinch it. Of course, Nebraska is on Sunday against Wisconsin. We got Big Ten wrestling this weekend. Watch for all of Stibbs's live reports from PBA and the Big Ten Wrestling Championships. So there you go.
Sports.
A lot of good stuff.
Man.
A lot of good stuff this weekend. Conference tournaments going on. Next week, things going to get crazy.
Oh, baby.
Have a great weekend.
Join 1620 The Zone in the fight against childhood cancer as we raise funds for St. Jude Children's